There's that. There we go. I fixed it. I fixed it. Ha Can you guys hear me now? Yes. People can hear me now. Still sounds kind of weird, like it's been sounding weird, but it's on. We can hear. Yes. We have sound. Oh my god. That was so weird. It was like showing me levels right before I went live, and then as I must have like hit the wrong thing on OBS when I was like trying to go live, and it just like messed it up. It's always something with me and technology. I apologize, guys. We're here. We're hanging out. I can still hear myself on an echo a little bit, but we're just going to deal with that. There we go. Oh, hey guys. Hey Paul, Noah, Amanda Bear, Jay, Laser. I'm trying to call out everybody that I see. I know that word Junior is here. Hey guys, welcome. No, I cannot hear you. Oh yeah, and then as I'm trying to fix the this problem, the reason why it cut out for a second is because the internet just kicked me off, and I was like, of course, let's just get all of it out of the way at once. So, oh, it happens so frequently. It's probably partially just because I am not good with technology, but there you have it. All right, so how is everybody? That's why you were looking fuzzy. Yes, for a second, it just like, as I was trying to like fix the audio, the Wi-Fi cut out. And so I was like, okay, now I gotta fix the Wi-Fi and then try to fix the audio. Do we want to do a little it's been like, what, 4 or 5 days since I streamed? I'm feeling better. Thank you for asking. I'm mostly just tired and the achiness is starting to go away. Headaches are still like a thing, but I really feel, all things considered, I feel fine. I've been way sicker in my life. And I'm excited to stream. I've missed you guys the past few days. I keep like looking at the books on the shelf and being like, I want to stream. I had 2 days where I was feeling especially not great, and then I was just busy the past couple of days. But we're here. So as a recap, why am I doing that and not going to the desk cam? Let's see. There we go. Let's fix this so that it always gets moved, this camera, because it's, you guys can't see, but it's literally like attached up here to the top of this shelf part of this desk, the Murphy desk, and so it's literally just like clipped on. So like anytime anything gets moved on this desk, any like little movement will just cause it to move an inordinate amount. All right. Sorry. Okay. I don't want to make people motion sick, so we're just going to live with this for right now. Dang, citrus. It's the stupidest thing. I was like, I said to my mom, I'm like, you mean to tell me that I dodged the plague for 2.5 years and then went out of my house once and got bit by a tick? That's so stupid. Like, I was mostly just very annoyed because, like, you know how, like, they always tell you to look out for, like, the target ring rash? I had that, and I was like, I need to go have that checked out. And then they're like, yup, looks like it. Go on antibiotics. And I was like, are you serious right now? Hey, Patrick. Oh, so many things are probably interfering with my connection right now. And you didn't even turn into Tick Girl that anybody knows of. It is funny. I've made 2 jokes about having superpowers, and aptly timed. Maybe I will get to be Tick Girl. I don't know what Tick Girl gets to do. But I hope I get to be Ant-Man's best friend. But coming live in Patrick. I'm on the radio. That's so great. I always wanted to be on the radio. My dad was on the radio way back in the day. On local radio. She gets to be even smaller. Yeah, my superpower is that I'm so small, but I can somehow be smaller. Or maybe it's like, what's her name's powers from Worm. Shout out Maddie if Maddie ever sees this or is watching this. Where, like, she can control the bugs. Okay. let's do a recap of the road so far with this series. The Scooby Doo Crew 2022. I was watching Scooby Doo while I was editing the last video. And I thought of you guys because I was like, we need to do more Scooby Doo videos just in general. But here we go. We have the terrifying pterodactyl. I almost made, when I made the announcement, oh, I should put the P.O. Box address here because people tend to ask for it here. But I was going to put, when I did that meme of like, we just got a letter, I wonder who it's from, I almost made it say that pterodactyl that pterodactylus that got away at the end of the Scooby Doo book. But I was like, few people will understand that, but the people who will understand it. But then I went with what I did. So we've got the terrifying pterodactyl. We've got the case of the wrestler's ghost. I love how they tried. You can tell that they really tried to, like, obviously pterodactyl doesn't start with a T, but like, you know what I mean. They tried to sound it with the same, like, tried to start it with the same sound, and then they just gave up. Doughy creature, wandering witch. But you can tell, like, I would bet money, and I could be wrong because who knows, but like, I would bet that these come out later in the series when they gave up on trying to come up with the dual names, because Wandering Witch and Terrifying Pterodactyl feels like we were going for a thing. Doughy creature, how original. Yeah, I think this one must have just come out when they were just out of ideas. Watch this one be like the first one that they made. They're like, we're a flagship book, we're so proud of it. But those are the four cases that we have solved so far. Trying to make sure I put them back in order, because if they're out of order on my shelf, my OCD will kick in about it. Oh my gosh. So now, we still have 20 of these books to read for the first time. Let's see. Maybe this probably just should be a tradition. I'm excited for this one. I'm very excited for this one. This one looks like, because I got these on eBay, used, and they're like very gently used. They're in really good condition considering that they're just like kids paperback books. This one looks like out of all the bunch, this one was read the most. So maybe I think that's like a good endorsement. This one feels, I don't want to spoil myself, but this one, it's about the same. It felt like it was like a few more pages than the other ones. But we have the case of the Batty vampire. I'm very excited. Which feels redundant. Yes, we love vampires here. I talk constantly about how I don't think being a vampire would be that bad. Oh, look, you can see all of my cords when I did that. Oh, well. You can also see the screenception. It's like the void is living on. You can see over here on the computer, the OBS. But yeah, that's what we got right now. We're gonna do Scooby Doo and You, the case of the Batty vampire. Let's reread it. Oh, and let me get my sounds out. I was having fun with the soundboard last time. What did I do? Okay. First, I hit the sound button and I was like, wait, did something break? All right. A vile vampire is scaring guests away from the charming Sea View Inn. He comes complete with bats, lots of them. Scooby and the gang have to figure out which suspect is behind the vacation-wrecking vampire. Is it the nature writer, the owner's flamboyant wife, or the adorable band Boys Rule? The whole band? The gang needs your help before this case drives them bats. They gave us like a whole like little snapshot preview. That's interesting. We gotta prep up the first poll on who's gonna have the clue keeper. Yes, thank you for reminding me. And let me grab my own little clue keeper. Apparently they used to sell like branded clue keeper books that they basically just were made to go on the shelf by your collection of Scooby-Doo books. I saw that one was listed on eBay, but I was like, I almost got it just because I thought it would be funny, but I was like, it's just, we're already like 4 in. Maybe like someday I'll find one again and like have it for like the next time we're like, oh, let's read through the Scooby-Doo books. Yeah, this one, I can tell that this one was like somebody's favorite book. It's also not in bad condition at all, but it just seems a little bit more loved than the other ones, which is kind of cute. Hang on, guys. I will be right back. I'm also going to turn off the house lights while we're here so we're not getting that annoying glare. Is the illusion broken on how like small this closet is when I stand up or try to move anywhere? Still using up this pad. It's annoyingly in the way. We'll put that back there. All right. What's the Clue Keeper? I'm not up to date on Scooby Doo lingo. The Clue Keeper is just, you know, they're always like, write things down in your own Clue Keeper and then like try to solve the mystery at the end. They apparently sold branded Clue Keepers because of course they did. Because capitalism. They were like, yeah, buy the books and buy probably what must have been a really overpriced flimsy little notebook to put the clues in. But yeah. That's what we've got. That's what we got. Right now I'm using this little notepad that my mom brought back for me and was just like, here, you need note paper on stream. You can use this. And it's been helpful because I have been using this. Must have been from a Scooby show I haven't seen. No, it's specifically just from this. No, DaVinci Resolve. I don't need you right now. We're not editing right now. We're gonna edit probably later, but no, it's as far as I can tell, it's specific to these books because they just wanted kids to be interactive with these books. Now we just close down. Oh my god, close down. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Everything is like, what if we just drove you crazy right now? I do love DaVinci Resolve. It is a very good thing, but I feel every Scooby-Doo thing should have more risk be titled The Corrupt Capitalist. Yes. Yes, it should have. It really should have. Scooby-Doo is just, I just appreciate Scooby-Doo so much. It's still something that's like so much fun to put on in the background, even when I'm editing. That's what I did the other night. Oh, what are you guys drinking, by the way? I've got Coca-Cola in a mug so that we're still giving off those cozy vibes, but this probably fake belief that Coca-Cola helps that Coke helps my head when my head is particularly in pain. But yeah. Just water because I'm boring. Water is good for you. Like, I'm so bad at drinking water. Punch with dragon fruit vodka. Ooh, that sounds good. I have some water and grapes. That sounds good, too. Yeah, I've been trying to drink, especially, like, being sick and, like, you know, I'm trying to be like, oh, I need to take in more fluids. And I've been a little bit better about it recently, but I'm typically very, very bad when it comes to water. There are a lot of videos where you can tell I'm just drinking water in my mug, probably because it was filmed in the afternoon when I realized I hadn't really drank that much water that day, and I was like, oh no. Here we go. Let's see this. There we go. Stream. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of great Canadian TV that I have not seen. Should get a glass of cran apple juice because I feel that Fruit Bat Vampire would be into it. Yes. I feel like being a vampire would be so cool. We always joke in my family that the name Vandenhouten, that's our last name. It makes us sound like a family of vampires. And I think that that's a plus in our column. I still say we need more chill vampire representation. This book is from 2001. I literally, there's so little about this series on the internet. It's so obscure that, like, I could barely find anything about it on the web. That's how, like, I could barely figure out, like, I still don't know what order they were published in. It's a Belgian last name. From my dad's side of the family, obviously. But yeah. It's a Belgian last name. It's very hard to say or spell. And it's always funny when I have to like write credits when we do our movies because I work with my brother and we've both got the same complicated last name. A waffle, yes. Yes. My dad would appreciate that. Speaking of which, okay, wait, let me get the poll started before we do anything else. Okay. Who's keeping the clue keeper? I almost forgot, even though I was reminded. Okay. Wait. There we go. Add option. Okay. We're gonna assume that if it's Shaggy and Scooby, they're gonna be doing it together. Like, Scooby's not gonna keep the journal by himself, and which is fine because I can only put 4 things in the poll. Who's keeping the clue keeper? Can we call ourselves, between all of these like mystery adventure games and books and stuff, can we call ourselves the clue keepers instead of the crypt keepers? Is it let's see, Velma, Daphne, Fred, or Shaggy? Or will they just... Well, imagine if they threw us a curveball and they're like, well, Scrappy Doo is actually keeping this one. You imagine? All right, everybody vote. I would like to know what we're thinking. What if we had? Who did it? Because it was in these 4. It was Velma. Kept the clues in this one, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So Velma kept the clues in this one. She was our handy little... kind of like a dungeon. I almost said dungeon master. You know, in the cartoon where you're like, I will be your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Then it was Fred. Fred kept the clues for this one. And I think this one went back to Velma. I think. Who kept this? Oh, was it Daphne in this one? Right, Velma says showing you the clue keeper. I kept the notes. Yeah, so it was Velma, Fred, Velma. This was Daphne, I remember. Daphne got to keep the notes. So I wonder who's keeping the notes on this one. My Halloween on already by watching the colored version of House on Haunted Hill. Very fun movie. I've been wanting to talk about House on Haunted Hill on the channel for a while because I wanted to have Natasha come on and talk about it with me because in the first short we ever made together called The Roommate, we use a little clip of House on Haunted Hill because it's in the public domain. And it ended up working out super perfectly for that one scene we needed it for. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's very fun. I like it a lot. Yeah, old horror movies, so fun. Hi, Boots the Cat. The one was alright. Not really worth rewatching. I think I've only seen the original one. I think. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds about right. Okay, I'm gonna park it on the stream health thing for a second just so that I can make sure that I know if we go offline again. I never understood this. Books always have like too many pages on the inside, you know? It's like a cover page and then a cover page that's exactly the same. That's the actual cover page. I don't understand. This one is for Ezra and Julia Jerome. Shout out. There's a cat, is a kid named Boots. Aw, so cute. Our cat Fig, she's so sweet. She loves sleeping. She has this thing, she loves water. Some cats just really love water, and Fig really, really loves water to the point where she will, like, sleep in the shower. Like, after you've run the shower, she'll, like, want to get in there and just, like, sleep in water. It's like, why? Prime has the original 59 version in color. Nice! It's fun because House on Haunted Hill is in the public domain, So it's really interesting because it's on YouTube and like there's nothing anybody can, it's in the public domain, so like nobody has the rights to it. So it's like we could honestly like do a stream watch of that movie and then do like an accompanying video to like talk about and break down the movie because it's in the public domain. But yeah, okay. I'm seeing that we are 43% in the camp of Velma's probably keeping the Clue Keeper. Really, you've seen Dead Birds 2004. I have not seen that, but it sounds disturbing. Wait, a game with all the villains together. Okay, interesting. I'll see if Natasha is available to do that soon. We also have to do more. Sorry, I just keep talking instead of reading. I should just start reading, but we need to do more. We still have 3 episodes of Whodunit to cover. And we were trying to put together something fun for the last one, and so we keep like kind of putting it. Does anyone remember does anyone still find The Exorcist creepy? I like the film, but I never really was disturbed by it. I was. It could just, I don't know if it was, it's kind of religious trauma, the movie, I guess, so I don't know, but it's yeah, I still find it, I don't find it as scary as I found it when I was 12, because I shouldn't have been watching it that young, but I still find it creepy, at least. It's just very like, ooh, but it's one of my favorite classic horror movies, and the show that ran only for like 2 seasons on Fox deserved way more hype than it got because it was absolutely great. Vampire ghostly weird as hell. I'll need to look into that. I don't think I know what that is. Some of the music in the Exorcist sequel is, well, bizarre. In the show, or was there wasn't an Exorcist movie sequel, was there? Or am I just way out of the loop? I might be. The idea of losing your child and not being able to prevent it is the scariest aspect of the movie. See, it's interesting because that's probably is the scariest part of the movie. I still always am just like, it's always scary when like a kid goes through something that like even adults don't understand, but I don't know. It's not like, oh my god, it's the scariest movie ever, but it is like, it does give me the creep vibe, whereas things like The Shining, for some reason, doesn't give me that vibe. It's called The Heretic. Oh. Wait, have I seen The Heretic? I don't think I've actually seen it. I've heard about it. I just love that the Exorcist classic theme is public domain music, so it's also Elle's theme in Death Note. Some sequels and a prequel of The Exorcist. Nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed the show that was on Fox, but it did not get as much hype as it deserved. It was it was an intense show, but it was fun. Well, it was scary fun, that kind of fun. Oh, Laser, I think we need to do another Around the Twist video soon. I think the last time I wanted to do a Around the Twist video, I was going to do one from season 3, but season 3 has kind of like more of a through line, and I wasn't sure if I could get away with like doing them out of order because I wanted to do the creepy doll one, so. Yes, Brisbane saved the day for sure. On my way through the book now. Interesting. My mom was a big fan of like, she's read like a lot of classic Stephen King movies she read as books. So like, Pet Sematary always freaked her out, which Pet Sematary freaks me out. I don't like thinking about. I mean, people also die, and that's terrible. But when the cat, I don't like that the cat goes through what he goes through. All right, I'm sorry. I'll start reading. Round the Twist is, I love it, but I kind of have this healthy like fear/respect of it. There's a lot. All right, I'm seeing that our vote is for Velma with a runner-up of Shaggy plus Scooby. We haven't seen Shaggy or Scooby. I wonder if they'll actually get to do it. I wonder if anybody would let them. All right, Lola's Crab House. Ooh, crab. Yeah, I need to do the urban legend episodes. Every time I do, I just think about Beyond Belief, though. Actually, the video that I'm working on editing right now is a new Beyond Belief video. 10th one, so that's gonna be fun. Ugh. Yeah, urban legends. Ugh. There was some creepy stuff on urban legends, like creepy in a different way from Beyond Belief. Yeah, I know everybody gets excited when we do Beyond Belief, and it's been a couple months since the last video, so I was like, I just wanted to film last night, and I didn't know what I wanted to film, and I was like, let's do Beyond Belief. First Tears of Innocence, Brainless, Ice Cream Man, all of season 3 around the twist. Beyond Belief. Oh yeah, I'll get to the story in a second. I'll get there. I'm sorry. I've just been talking for like half an hour. But yeah. Okay. I'll get back on track. We can talk more about this at the... I almost said the commercial break. Oh my god. Brain. Alright. Lola's Crab House. Any seafood fans? For the past week, you've been on vacation with your family. Something that could either be a delightful thought or a horrifying thought, depending on how your family is. When Fred called to say that he and the rest of the Scooby Gang were staying at the nearby Sunset Island for a few days, you just had to row out to the popular vacation spot. I rowed out here to see you guys? Wow, I'm a really dedicated friend. You know I love my seafood. I'm not even that big of a seafood person, but New England clam chowder is something that I will never pass up when I'm up there visiting. Meet them at Lola's Crab House, a place that serves boiled spiced crabs on an outdoor deck. Fred, Velma, Scooby, and Shaggy are waiting for you. Wait. We're missing Daphne. Are waiting for you at a table piled high with steamy boiled crabs, the shell's still on. Hi, grab a chair, Velma says. I'm confused. Sorry, I've got confused because Daphne's here, but like, did my brain just like omit her from what I was reading? Fred, Velma, Scooby, and Shaggy are waiting for you at a table piled high. Huh. I think I'm just confusing myself. And a mallet, Fred adds as he holds up a small wooden hammer. Shaggy and Scooby Doo are busy cracking the crab shells with their mallets. After you crack the shell, you pick the crab meat out with a tiny fork, Fred explains. Or you can just, like, use your fingers, Shaggy says as he pops a hunk of crab meat into his mouth. Sorry, I was getting notifications and I was like, let's make sure that I'm not accidentally doxing anybody. Book error, maybe? Yeah, maybe. It must have just been a print error. They really made these books very fast, so that would not surprise me. There's errors in more books than I think most of us realize, but I was just like, wait, you're gonna play Daphne like that? She's right there, you guys. Okay, sorry. Crabs are rummy, Scooby says. They sure are yummy, Velma agrees. I like that Velma has to translate. A waitress appears balancing a large tray on her shoulder. She begins unloading it. Here are your 4 orders of fries and 7 baskets of onion rings. Oh, 4 orders. So where... Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Put it all over there by them, Daphne says. Okay, so Daphne is there. It must have just been an error. Okay, poor Daphne. Pointing to Scooby and Shaggy. They're the ones who ordered all the extras. The waitress puts the food in front of the Scooby and Shaggy. Oh, and here's your garlic butter. You can dip the crab meat in it. She places bowls of garlic-scented butter on the table. I already know where this segue is, and I honestly can't be too mad. Shaggy leaps up like, no garlic, he cries. Scooby rears back in his chair, nearly tipping it. Garlic? Confused, you look to Fred and Velma and Daphne. What's wrong with garlic? You ask, and they laugh. It has to do with the mystery we just solved, Fred tells you. Scooby and Shaggy have had more than enough of garlic because garlic is supposed to keep vampires away. Vampires? You ask? Weirdest friends in the world to have. Has to be. Daphne nods. She reaches into her straw handbag and pulls out a spiral-bound notebook. Ooh, guys, Daphne did the Clue Keeper. I wrote all about it in our Clue Keeper. Here, take a look. And they couldn't even sit her at the table. Rude. I can't imagine Shaggy or Scooby ever getting tired of garlic. I love garlic. Garlic's in a lot of good food. I don't think that's going to last very long. Yes! Amanda, I was right about Daphne. Yes. I wrote all about it in our Clue Keeper. Here, take a look. She hands you the notebook, knowing you love to read about mysteries the gang solves. Because obviously we are also a famous crime-fighting detective. Obviously. I hang out in these circles of crime-fighting team detectives. See if you can figure out this one, she challenges you. All you have to do is read through the notes Daphne took in the Clue Keeper, Fred says. She marked each suspect with a suspect eyes, and the clues have a flashlight nearby. There are also questions at the end of each Clue Keeper entry, Velma adds. If you answer them, it will help you solve the mystery. Shaggy pushes the bowls of garlic butter towards the others. We'll have our crab meat plain, thanks. Rhea, garlic. Scooby agrees. Eager to start, you open the Clue Keeper and begin reading The Case of the Batty Vampire. And scene. All right, so so the girls have each so far kept the Clue Keeper twice, and Fred's kept it once. Interesting. I feel like in their right mind, they're not gonna put Shaggy in charge of it. Probably, right? Like, somebody said last time they got banned from that a long time ago. Let round 5 commence. Yes, I'm 4 for 4 so far. I'm very proud of myself. Oh, yeah, I love that Beyond Belief episode. That was a cute one. One of the ones that doesn't end with, like, something tragic happening. I've been to a restaurant where you break crab. Yeah, my parents have done it. I'm not super into seafood, but like, yeah, my mom is very big on crab. Do they ever pay? Probably Daphne pays. I think we can all assume that these are pretty at least upper middle class teenagers, if not full on wealthy. Like Daphne's definitely a 1%er, but the rest of them are probably still doing all right. I like to imagine the gang sitting around and silently judging you while you fill out each section. Yeah, they're like taking bets. They're like handing each other $5 across the table. Like, I knew it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's one of those. Too much of anything can be dangerous, but yeah, there's like, yeah, it can mess with your health. Seafood poisoning. Okay, Clue Keeper entry 1. Aw, look at how happy everybody looks. That's probably not gonna last very long. Daphne's like, look at how calming this is. This is nice. Smell that salty ocean air, I said, breathing deeply. I stood on the deck of the car ferry that was carrying Velma of the car ferry. Okay. Scary. That was carrying Velma, Fred, Shaggy, Scooby Doo, and me to beautiful Sunset Island. It's a vacation spot full of charming country inns, grassy hills, and gorgeous beaches. I've been looking forward to this vacation all summer long. I want to know whose parents let their teenagers go on vacation with their group of friends and dog, but not, like, instead of, like, family vacations, you know? My parents would never. Scooby and Shaggy continue to solve mysteries, even though they have multiple panic attacks every mystery. Yeah, I think they're just ride or die friends, you know? In the tune of Matchmaker. Car ferry, bring me a car. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I've never heard somebody say car ferry. Maybe I'm just uncultured. We We better climb into the mystery machine. We're about to dock, Fred said. We went to the lower deck where the cars were parked and got into the van. The ferry docked and a member of the ferry crew dropped the front chain. With a wave, he directed the cars to drive forward. We drove onto the Sunset Island ferry parking lot. How many times can we say ferry? Is that the new drinking game? That's the one. Ferry. I'm just going to take a couple sips right now. Let's check out the hotels and get settled in one of them right away, Velma suggested. They haven't pre-booked a hotel. Okay, I have questions. Yeah, Shaggy agreed. The faster we do that, the sooner we can have lunch. We drove from one cute hotel to the next adorable inn. Everywhere we went, we got the same reaction. We're all full. You should have called for reservations. That's what I'm saying. I never knew the island was this popular, I told my friends as we stood outside one of the hotels. I suppose we'll have to leave if we can't get a room. I'm sorry I didn't make a reservation. Daphne! Let's just keep trying, Velma said. The last place listed on our brochure was the Sea View Inn. It was a huge, white, Victorian-style inn that faced the ocean. Oh, that sounds adorable. I'm picturing the Full House house. As we walked up onto the front porch, a large man came out. Welcome. Don't body shame the dude. A large man. Welcome, he greeted us with a smile. I'm Marty Mallow, the owner. You wouldn't have 2 rooms available, would you, Fred asked. I have 2 rooms facing the ocean. Come right in. We followed him into a lovely old-fashioned lobby with high-back chairs and ruffled curtains. We signed in, and Mr. Mallow's eyes widened when he saw our names. Hey, I read about you kids in the paper. You solve mysteries. I wonder if you could solve one for me. Okay, so Mr. Mallow is the guy that is innocent just because we say so. I guess we always have to have one guy that we can trust to remind children that you can trust some people, I guess. This is that. My guests keep checking out after only one night, and word is spreading around that this island, that people shouldn't stay here. I sold my theatrical costume shop in Brooklyn to buy this inn and live on this wonderful island. I want to see a sitcom about this guy's life. Now it's all falling apart. You may have noticed that I'm the only inn on the island with vacancies. Do you know what's causing the problem? I asked. You won't believe this, but people think there's a vampire hanging around the inn, he said. What did Daphne expect? Honestly, what else would she expect at this point if he's asking them for help? A vampire? Fred, Velma, Shaggy, and I cried in surprise. Vampire! Scooby shouted. Yes, I know it's ridiculous, but that's what people are saying, Mr. Mallow said. Could you kids keep an eye out for anything strange? Sure thing, Fred agreed. Mr. Mallow gave us our keys. We grabbed our bags and climbed the stairs. Velma and I took the room to the right. Shaggy, Fred, and Scooby went on to the left. Ah, yes. Gender, separated by gender, because this is a children's book. As if Fred and Daphne haven't messed around before. Sorry, off topic. The moment I was in our room, I threw open the doors that led out onto the second floor porch. I could hear the sound of the waves beating against the shore. Then I heard another sound. Help! 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 That's Shaggy and Scooby, Velma cried from inside the room. Let's go! End of Clue Keeper entry. I do believe in fairies. I do believe in fairies. I do believe in... And then the fairy doesn't sink. That's the only way to keep in, like, you know, in the only way to keep Tinkerbell alive, the only way to keep the fairy afloat is just be like, I do believe in fairies. I do. They're teens in the 1970s. Of course, they've all done things together. Right? I love it. I was like, we need 2 rooms because boys and girls have to be separated. Blue and purple. Or blue and red. Never purple. That was the slogan at my old youth group. A vampire sounds like a much worse creature to face. Honestly, yeah. Sounds like something my DM would bring out. I'm going to set up the next poll on what sort of case it's going to be. Tech, costume, or supernatural? Yes. Tech, costume, or supernatural. How wild would it be if they were like, and that guy was a real vampire too? Pterodactyl one? They're like, yeah, that was a real pterodactyl. Alright, so let's start a new poll. What kind of mystery do you think we're gonna have? Do you think it's gonna be costume? Tech? Or supernatural? There we go. I always play it safe and go costume, but honestly, like, if ever, honestly, all bets are off. After the first one literally started with, hey, pterodactyls just exist now and there's nothing we can do about it, I'm thrown for a loop. I don't know what to expect. Clue Keeper Entry 2. Velma and I raced to room 201. Shaggy and Scooby continued shouting from within the room. Their door was open, so we ran inside. Jinkies! Velma cried. I hope everybody's hearing the sound effects. If not, that's going to be really unfortunate. Jinkies, Velma cried as something dark dove over her head. She raised her arms to shield her head. It's a bat! A really big bat, Shaggy shouted from under the bed. Yes, I love the soundboard. Okay, good. I'm just glad that everybody can hear. I didn't hear that last one. I was just like, is it not working? Oh, I know why. We've had this problem before. We've done this. It's just been a while. Okay, getting sidetracked. Now can I hear it? There we go. I fixed it. Okay. We're just fixing all kinds of problems today. Look at us. Okay. I hear the soundboard too. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Everybody can hear it. All right. We're about to meet a suspect, guys. A really big bat, Shaggy shouted from under the bed. Fred threw open the door leading to the porch. The bat turned and flew out the doorway. Bats are nocturnal, Velma said. They only come out at night. Why is that one flying around in the middle of the day? It flew out when Shaggy opened the closet. It's dark inside there. Maybe it thought it was supposed to be awake, Fred suggested. I don't know, maybe, Fred. At that moment, Mr. Mallow ran into the room. Behind him was a short woman with wild, wiry gray hair. What happened? Mr. Mallow asked. There was, like, a giant bat in the room, Shaggy said, as he crawled out from under the bed. Scooby crawled out beside him. On the contrary, the woman said, there are no giant bats in this part of the country. The Malayan flying fox, a bat that gets to be from 5 to 6 feet, might be considered giant, but not the common brown bat which inhabits the island. Suspect list. Everybody's like, this girl knows too much about bats. She has to be a vampire. It had seemed large enough to me, too, but I suppose it wasn't giant. It was probably really just your average big bat. Is this lady, like, doing the well, actually thing? Like, you almost got rabies from a small bat, not a giant bat. This is my sister, Elsa Mallow-Linney. Mr. Mallow introduced the woman. The nature writer? Thelma asked. Exactly, Ms. Mallow-Linney said. I'm here on the island writing my next book, Sunset Shame. It's about how all the building and development on this island is crowding out all the wildlife. I want to see Sunset Island declared a wildlife preserve, especially the bat caves. Very interesting. Solid motive. So, are they gatekeeping bats? I don't know. I've never seen anybody gatekeep bats, and I've seen people try to gatekeep so many things. You know how many fandoms I've been in? I find that funny. It's actually a brown bat. They're not giant. It's been exploring the actual bat cave, Mr. Mallow explained. Cheers. A bat cave? Wait. Velma said Jeepers? That's not her line. I want to know who wrote this particular book. Somebody, like, wrote this. I feel like this particular one was written, like, on a napkin. No shade, but, like, there's so many things I have questions about. Velma said, impressed. I'd like to see that. Could we come with you sometime? I don't think so, Ms. Malalini said. I refuse to bring even more tourists to disturb the delicate bat environment. Fair. Mr. Mallow, I have a question, Fred asked. Are you having a problem with bats in this hotel? Could that be why the rooms aren't full like the other hotels are? Creepers, it's the Creeper. Written by the intern. Hey, that's unfair to interns. I bet the intern could have written a great fandom-accurate book. Yes, everybody welcome Isabel. Everybody welcome Isabel to chat. I don't know. I have seen a few more bats than usual lately, he admitted. I wonder how that one became trapped in the closet. Bats are our friends, Ms. Malalini said. Why, one common little brown bat can consume as many as 600 mosquitoes in an hour. Bats are pretty cool. See that, Scoob? Shaggy said. And they say we have huge appetites. We would never eat that many mosquitoes, not even one. Scooby nodded. Rot, Reven, run. Well, it says rot, Reven, Ron, but I know what he was trying to say. I'll have to ask my wife if she's noticed a lot of bats lately, Mr. Morrow said. And this is his sister, he said, right? Very important distinction to make. Ooh, if his wife is guilty, though, is it gonna, like, end in heartbreak and divorce? Because that's gonna be a lot. Welcome to the nice weirdos of YouTube, Isabel. I like that. The closet because it's Bat Pride Month. Oh. I'll have to ask my wife if she's noticed a lot of bats lately, Mr. Mara said. She's been off the island for the last few days. Suddenly, the sound of singing drifted into the room. Mr. Mallow seemed upset. I told them not to come back here again. He turned and stormed off. I wonder what that's about, Fred said. Let's go find out, I suggested. All right, Jinkies. We didn't get... It's interesting. It was the first time that we didn't get the first Clue Keeper entry at the end of the first entry. Or the mystery-solving tips at the end of the first entry. That's what I meant to say. That's a sentence. Miss Scooby Doo. I always forget about Scooby's cousin, an extended family. Yep. Jinky! Do you think there could really be a vampire at the Seaview Inn? I wonder, did you see the suspect eyes on page 12? Answer these questions about the suspect you found. What is the suspect's name? What did the suspect do for a living? Why would the suspect want to close down Seaview Inn? Okay, so her name is Elsa Maro. Wait. Okay, I have questions. So, there's several things happening with this book, right? Because their name is Mr. Mallow, according to everything else. But then here, it says Mr. Morrow with 2 R's. And no one caught that? Did no one proofread? Proofread. If I were to vote for the first suspect we have, I'll aim in a similar direction as Music of the Vampire, not giving away any spoilers until... Ah, yes, Music of the Vampire. Yes. Yeah, I still do need to do that one. But I've already found like 4 mistakes in this one book. No shade to whoever wrote this one. Susanna Wayne? I don't know how that last name. I'm not trying to insinuate, I'm not trying to diss that person, but there's several things that I have questions about. I'm sorry for being that person. Ooh, we are at 50% costume. think everybody's like me. Everybody's like, if it's gonna be supernatural, it's probably gonna be this one. Book was read so much because the person couldn't believe the fuck-ups, even for a kid's book. So far, I'm enjoying reading the vampire seaside story. I just have questions about how some of these mistakes happen. But yeah, I imagine somebody just poring over this in the middle of the night, like, no, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay, once you've answered the questions, keep reading. There are more suspects coming your way. All right, don't rush me. I'm getting there. What's her? Elsa Mallow. Linney. Mallow is the correct way to say it. Okay. This reminds me of Laura Linney. I'm Laura Linney, and this is Masterpiece Classics. Love it. A very specific thing. The case of the Batty vampire. I said in the post when I announced that I have the P.O. box now. And I was like, I think I'm gonna do the Austin McConnell thing of like, doing the whole like, pen pal thing might be fun or whatever if anybody wants to send me a letter. And I was like, I'll send thank you notes to everybody who sends me something too. But apologies in advance for the messy handwriting. It's gonna be a lot. The office must have ran out of coffee that day. I've been there with the typos. Yeah. It's just funny because I kind of, up until this point, pictured like a whole corporation of people just like sitting in a conference room, just like making sure that all these books are like brand accurate and stuff. And this one makes me fully believe that like all these different ghostwriter names, they just kind of hired people book by book and were like, can you give us something in a week? Can you do the old R.L. Stine thing of writing in a whole thing in 2 days? Case of the Batty vampire. Suspects. I'm gonna do it a little bit different this time. Suspects. We've got... No. Let's do it like this. Suspects. We've got number 1. Got Elsa. No one starts singing anything. No one starts singing Frozen music. Saying it specifically to myself, because we all know that I would. Elsa Mallow, like a marshmallow. Mallow Linney. She is a nature writer. What capacity that means? Like, does she write historical fiction? Like, does she write textbooks? Does she do like journalism? Nature writer. Okay. Nature writer, and this also goes into her motive. Nature writer who wants to save the bats. Do we have anything to add, chat? Do we have any chat notes right now? It'll be Topps R.L. Stine in that department. Yeah, R.L. Stine I'm fascinated by how that man is able to just come up with so many scary stories for children. Oh God, see now, you guys suggested a while back when I was doing the Nancy Drew. There we go. My brain is just like, what are words? When I was doing the Nancy Drew streams where we read through the whole first Nancy Drew book ever written, I think it was Tilly who suggested in comments it would be fun if we did a stream where like everybody contributes to a story and then like I make the final decision and we basically write stories on stream. Wouldn't it be funny if we got through all of these books and we're like, I think they should have written more of these, and this is how I think we should have done them, and we just like come up with like unofficial Scooby Doo and You books. Very funny. Anyway, let's see. Now that we've solved Velma's mystery solving tips, which I guess they're not solving, we don't need to solve them, they're tips. She's trying to help us, but oh boy, look. We have a boy band, everybody. Can you guys see this? I feel like I need to maybe hold it closer. See, does this make it? There we go. Why haven't I started doing this before? This is what I need to do. See the boy. I know you guys can probably see pretty well, especially since you're on like a big screen, but nope. Am I back in frame? There we go. There we go. Boy bands, all of them. Love it. Great Value Backstreet. I was gonna say off-brand NSYNC, so we were thinking pretty much the same thing. How many of them are there? There's 5 of them. Okay. They know what's up when it comes to the 90s or early 2000s boy bands. No, well, we have already established my VPN, so superpowers. Wish the Hex Girls popped up. I love the Hex Girls. I love them so much. All right, Clue Keeper entry number 3. At the bottom of the stairs. At the bottom of the stairs stood 5 young guys singing in perfect harmony. A tall, thin man stood by the front desk. He clapped when the guys finished. Suspect list. So am I supposed to believe that all of these guys are guilty? Like all or nothing? I can't just be like, all right, these guys seem chill, but Zach over here seems like a criminal. Like I'm not allowed to like single like 1 or 2 of them out. I have to be like, they're all working together. Feels a little unfair and unlikely. So it probably will be them. Should be the Hex Girls. Yeah, me, Natasha, and Maddie can be the Hex Girls together. It'll be great. I just need to get Maddie and Natasha to be more than casual acquaintances because they just have a mutual friend, and that mutual friend is me. We clapped too, but Mr. Mallow, who stood behind the front desk, just scowled. I suddenly realized where I'd heard their voices before. Aren't you Boys Rule, the singing group, I asked? That actually sounds like a band of that time. Does anybody remember obscure early 2000s, late 90s bands? Does anybody remember Jump 5? What a thing that was for a second. That's us, one of them said with a smile. I'm Derek. And they're Eric, Jason, Mason, and Rick. Derek, Eric, Jason, Mason, and Rick. All right. Boyzone, yes. Sounds like Boyzone. PO box and the address and community selection. Yes, I'll put it in the community tab. Hang on. I'll put it in the community tab. Nope, Maddie's a woman, and she makes a great Hex Girl, I bet. I think she could be the really tall, gorgeous one with the black hair. I could once I get my color redone, I could be the redheaded one, and then maybe Natasha can do a wig and be our fun blondie. I think she'd have fun with that. Whoop! I don't want to break this poor book. Yeah, Maddie's great. Maddie, in case anybody's wondering, the reason why Maddie isn't here this week or next Monday is because she's going to be out of town next Monday, and we didn't want to start the Kingdom Hearts series once and then just do a, what am I trying to say? Have a hiatus week after just one stream because we're barely going to get that much done. LOL, oops. Oh, good. Just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same person. I don't have too many friends, and Maddie's one of a few of them, so I was like, there's not a second Maddie. Unless I'm thinking of somebody else. But yeah, we're gonna start Kingdom Hearts, not this coming Monday, but the next Monday. So I'm very excited about them. Yeah, what was I doing? My ADHD is so bad, and they were like, hey, you're probably gonna have a little bit of brain fog with the, being sick and all. And I was like, great, I don't have enough of that already. So I'm gonna pin the P.O. box here for anybody who wants to take it down. Like take down the address, not like the not like take out my P.O. box. Please don't. I'm very proud of it. It's a nice little P.O. box. P.O. box 1333. Oops, 1333. 1333. Wait, I'm doing this wrong. I've had the address for one day. I'm already messing it up. 1333 Cedar Grove. You don't need that many friends, just a few good ones. Yeah, you do. I only have like 3 close friends. Same. Yeah, and that's all you need. Extra Goosebumps merch I have laying around on my shelves. I would love that. That is very kind of you. Thank you. I will never say no to that. It also means that I finally have an address. I have a couple of extra books, like duplicates of these myself. I kind of wanted to finally do a giveaway. Now I actually have some place to like mail it from. So that's cool. So I'll workshop that and get back to you guys. Cedar Grove Road, Conley, Georgia. There we go. Don't you love how I want to do this right this second in the middle of everything? Fuck boys rule. 30288. There we go. And then it's P.O. Box. I'm typing so slow today. 1247. All right, sorry. I'll get back to actually doing what I'm supposed to be here doing. In this, so that everybody can see it. There we go. All right. Let's get back to talking about, what is their name? Boys Rule. Literally the most generic band I think I could possibly have thought of. The Goosebumps books, but couldn't find it, so it must have been donated. That's cool. I appreciate you looking. That's very sweet of you. Nope, nobody has to use the P.O. box. Nobody feel obligated to use it. I just know that some people were, wanting to send me things, and I'm glad to finally have somewhere to send them, and I'm just glad to have enough of you guys here to justify having a P.O. box, so that's a huge thing. So thank you guys. You guys are all why I have a P.O. box, and that makes me really happy. Okay, sorry, I'm going to start this Clue Keeper entry over, and we can learn about Boys Rule. At the bottom of the stairs stood 5 young guys singing in perfect harmony. You can imagine. A tall, thin man stood by them at the front desk. He clapped when the guys finished. Suspect eyes, so we know. Dun dun dun. I need like a dun 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 sound for when we get the suspect eyes. We clapped too, but Mr. Mallow, who stood behind the front desk, just scowled. I suddenly realized where I'd heard their voices before. Aren't you Boys Rule, the singing group? I asked. That's us, one of them said with a smile. I'm Derek. And they're Eric, Jason, Mason, and Rick. Derek, Eric, Jason, Mason, Rick. Somebody was high. Our manager. Arnie Rock. Arnie Rock. Okay. I was like, did I read that right? I think I read that right. Yes. I'm going to go with Arnie Rock. I think I'm correct. The man by the desk smiled. Boys Rule is going to make their next music video right here in this inn, he said. Oh boy, that doesn't... So many things are going to get ruined in that inn. Absolutely not, Mr. Mallow insisted. See, Mr. Mallow knows what he's talking about. Mr. Mallow, if Boys Rule played here, it would bring tons of fans, Velma pointed out. True, but Velma, have you been on a set before? It's chaos. Something always gets broken. I was literally working on a set one time, and we were in this big, gorgeous house, and you just hear the shattering, and it turns out that somebody broke, like, some kind of, like, vase that was worth God knows how much that the family had. And I was just like, whoop, glad it was not me, but I feel very sorry for whoever it was. Wait, I'm so confused. Okay, so the man behind the desk is... Wait, the man behind the desk is not Mr. Mallow? Man behind the desk smiled. Boys Rule is going to make their next music video right in this inn, he said. Okay. Oh, maybe it's one of the guys? I'm confused. They said the man behind the desk, and the desk has not really been established to me. But the man behind the desk is, that looks like Mr. Mallow. Sorry. I'm so... This book is making me feel like I'm on acid. There's a girl band called Girls Drool, I swear. Oh my god. Probably is in this universe. Absolutely not, Mr. Mallow insisted. Mr. Mallow, if Boys Rule played here, it would bring in tons of fans, Vilma pointed out. No fans, Arnie Rock objected. The inn has to be totally empty. I have a camera crew to bring in makeup artists, choreographers, drama coaches, publicists, and the press. I can't have fans and guests hanging around. That's fair. Yeah, Dracula is just gonna kill the entire boy band because he hates boy bands. Or maybe Dracula's a huge fan of boy bands. Wouldn't that be funny? It's out of the question, Mr. Mallow said, coming out from behind the desk. So, okay, I'm so confused. Because here it says, literally right here, the man behind the desk smiled. Boys Rule is going to make the next music video right here in this inn, he said. Absolutely not, Mr. Mallow insisted. But Mr. Mallow is the man behind the desk. He's the only man behind the desk. I have proof, Your Honor. I have not seen that, Patrick. I'll have to look that up. Your Honor, there's only one person behind the desk. Okay, moving on. Coming up from behind the desk. I let a TV crew in here once before and they wrecked the place. See? I told you. You can forget about it. You can forget about it, Mr. Rock. I told you that last week when you came by. Is he stalking him? Yeah, well, last week you had a bunch of customers. This week, it doesn't look like there are many left, Arnie Rock pointed out. If this guy tanked this business because he wanted to do a fucking music video, I swear to God. You could blame the writers, but what was the editor doing? Yeah, no, it's not even that. I don't blame the writer for, like, making honest mistakes. It's just there's supposed to be people, like, doing their job being like, I think this is a mistake, and then telling the writer to fix it or, like, fixing it for them. I just have so many questions. When they have one person behind the desk, they work 7 days a week and get no breaks, right? No, they're like, there's obviously in this picture, there's one guy behind the desk, and it's Mr. Mallow. And it's almost like they meant to just give this line to the manager, because they're like, that's our manager, Arnie Rock. And it's like, he smiled, Boys Rule is going to make their next music video right here in this inn. And then they just messed it up. Oh, well. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Shiny teeth counts for a reason for a vampire hatred. My man. Because I know of a villain. Different series. That's great. Where was I? I'm so confused. This week it doesn't look like there's that many left, Arnie Rock pointed out. It seems you could use our business. I don't need your kind of business, Mr. Mallow insisted. You could at least rent us some rooms for the night, Arnie said. You're the only guy in the island who's got any left. And then just illegally shoot the music video in the hotel room. And then it's good. Reluctant Werewolf. I saw it once a long time ago, but I need to rewatch. All right, but no singing, Mr. Mallow agreed. You'll disturb the few guests I have. We don't mind, Velma and I said at the same time. Velma and Daphne are all boy crazy because that's what all girls are. Boys rule waved to us as they went up the stairs with Arnie. Shaggy coughed sharply. Ahem, I think we're forgetting something very important. What's that, I asked. Lunch, he shouted. Fred, Velma, and I laughed. Okay, Fred said. Let's go find some lunch. Normally, I'd offer to serve you some lunch in the dining room, but my wife is off the island right now. As I mentioned, Mr. Mallow said, she does the cooking. I never even step into the kitchen. That's Chekhov's wife. She come back into play. They've mentioned her twice now. Are we getting chased? No, what's happening? What's happening? Something's happening. Okay. He directed us to a seaside cafe down the road. While we ate, we talked about the case. What do you think about all this vampire stuff? Fred asked. Well, if there are bats around the island, maybe it makes people think about vampires? Velma suggested. After lunch, we headed back to the sea view. Hey, there goes Ms. Mallow. Linny, Velma cried, pointing. The woman was on foot, climbing over some sand dunes. Let's follow her. Okay, so we're gonna stalk her. Fred pulled the mystery machine to the side of the road. We got out and hurried over the sand dunes. Ms. Mallow-Linny was walking down the shoreline, headed towards an old abandoned lighthouse. She went inside the lighthouse. The moment she entered, the gang and I began running to catch up with her. We stopped at the lighthouse door. Slowly opening the door, we sneaked in. Inside, it was dark and cool. As we searched around, one thing became clear. Ms. Mallow-Linny had disappeared. Ooh, spooky. Fred's mystery-solving tips. Ms. Mallow-Linny have disappeared like that, but she's no longer our only suspect. Did you see the suspect eyes on page 17? I did. So if you found our second suspect, answer these questions. What is the suspect's name? Why is he at the inn? Okay, so the manager is the suspect. The boys are fine. They're probably very nice boys. What might he want to ruin? Why might he want to ruin the business at the Seaview? Okay. Okay, so we have Arnie Rock. All right, suspect number 2. Let me move this out of the way. Well, you guys can see. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Suspect 2 is... Sorry, I'm like tripping over all of my words today. Arnie Rock? That looks like an H, because my K's always do, but oh well. I'm gonna write down he is manager of, and I really want to write down the band's name correctly. I don't want to disrespect them. Boys. Boy band. Whoops. Boy band. Okay. Okay. So, manager of the boy band. He may really need a location. For this music video. Chat, do we have any chat? We haven't really done that many chat notes, but, you know, getting down to business. Costume is still winning, but I like how we're all kind of double guessing ourselves. After the pterodactylus situation, we're like, what if it is a real vampire? Because I'm feeling the same way. Oh boy. Don't you dare. I have excellent connection. Don't you dare do anything to this stream. YouTube? I'm watching you. As if it's YouTube's fault. It might be, but, you know. YouTube sent out a survey to everybody in the partner program today and was like, how satisfied are you with YouTube's inclusivity policy? And I'm like, after the couple weeks that have happened on this platform, not great. Glad the boys are innocent, although it would be funny if the whole band... Yeah, I was picturing, like, all of them, like, you know, like, 5 Janes in a trench coat, just, like, standing on each other's shoulders, being a very tall vampire. All right. Ooh. Lighthouse. I love lighthouses. Clue Keeper Entry 4. I noticed that Ms. Mallow-Linney wasn't the only one missing. Scooby? Shaggy? I called. No answer. Where did they go? Velma asked. We climbed to the very top of the lighthouse, but still didn't find them. They couldn't have just disappeared. Let's see if this place has a kitchen, Fred said. We went back down and looked around until we found an old, broken-down kitchen. How is that accident? That was like accidentally bars. We went back down and looked around until we found an old, broken-down kitchen. Sounds like Young Gravy lyrics. Shaggy, Velma called. Scooby Doo, where are you? Rover-ear, Scooby replied. We found Scooby and Shaggy sitting in a stairwell, feasting on sandwiches from an open cooler. Hey, look what we found, Shaggy said happily. Shrimp salad sandwiches. Who put that food there? Velma wondered aloud. This place is abandoned. But you thought you could find a working kitchen. Well, Fred thought. Maybe the answer lies down those stairs, Fred said. Below the landing, where Scooby and Shaggy... winding set of stairs went even lower. We were on the first floor, so it had to lead to some kind of basement. Let's go, Velma said, starting down the stairs. Come on. With Velma in the lead, Scooby and Shaggy in the middle, and Fred and I at the end, we kept walking down the stairs. At the bottom, the air became cold. The walls around us were stone. Could this be the Bat Cave? I asked. I heard the sound of running water. Velma took a penlight from her pocket and aimed it at a running stream. An underground river, she said. Let's follow it. We walked along the riverside, deeper into the cave, with only the narrow beam of Velma's light to guide us. We began to hear chattering, squeaking noises. Those new shoes you bought sure are loud souls. Sure have loud souls, Fred, Shaggy commented. I'm not wearing my new shoes, Fred told him. You're not? Shaggy questioned. It's so dark in here, I can't see. Good thing I grabbed this pack of matches from the kitchen. Shaggy lit a match and held it up. The cave was suddenly bright and full of bats. Yikes! Oh, I didn't get to use the zoinks. I'm so sad. Yikes, Shaggy yelled as the startled bats began flying around the cave. Remember, bats are our friends, Velma shouted. I imagine Velma shouting where she's just like, bats are our friends! Paying as much attention as I can. It's fine. If we lose out to wrestling, it's fine. Understand? Remember, bats are our friends, Velma shouted. I tried to think of that as I shielded my head from the flying creatures. Bats might be our friends, but is he? Here we go, vampire. Shaggy shouted. In the middle of the bats stood a pale-faced man dressed in a long purple cape with a high collar. He opened his mouth, revealing long white fangs. Then he spread his cape wide and hissed at us. Shaggy and Scooby were the first to run, but the rest of us were right behind them. We tried to stay with the river and make our way back to the lighthouse. We were soon realized, though, that we were lost. We must have followed a different branch of the river, Fred said. It probably runs in lots of directions. That river isn't the only thing running, Shaggy shouted. I'm running too, look! We turned in the direction he pointed. A huge flock of bats was zooming down the cave's tunnel, straight toward us. All of us ran, not knowing where we were going. There's no knowing where we're going. I spotted a crack of light in the distance. That way, I cried, pointing. We all took a sharp right. We all took a sharp right and ran towards the light. Again, accidental bars. Before too long, the sound of squealing bats faded, and I could hear the ocean. Shaggy and Scooby were in the lead, but suddenly a figure stepped into the cave opening. Was the vampire... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Hello, is your refrigerator monster running? You better go and catch it. Where did I lost? Scooby and Shaggy... Wait, I lost my place, I'm sorry. Shaggy and Scooby were in the lead, but suddenly a figure stepped into the cave opening. Was the vampire blocking our way out? Scooby and Shaggy were running out so fast, they couldn't stop. They plowed right into the figure blocking their way. The rest of us fell on top of them. Look out, would you? Came a female voice. Ooh, we've got a good chance for a lady criminal again. We all jumped back. We'd fallen on a woman with bright red hair. She adjusted her beach cover-up and her pointy rhinestone-studded sunglasses as she climbed out from under us. Suspect eyes. They're like, we don't trust this lady. I know we just almost caused her bodily harm, but we don't trust her at all. Sorry, I apologize. We were running away from a vampire. Not that old story again, she scoffed. Is this the same vampire that is supposedly spooking that dump of the sea view? It's not a dump, I said. It's really very nice. Edition with hockey, and that's my first. That's fine. That's totally fine. I don't expect everybody to see everything. That's why the VODs are here. Of course it is, the woman said. I own it. Nice or not, it's a dump, just the same. Chekhov's wife! It's her! Are you Mrs. Mallow? Fred asked. Naturally. Call me Fran, she said. Now I'm just picturing, like, she's like a mean Fran Drescher. I don't know what to do with that vibe. I just got back from civilization on the mainland. It's not Brooklyn, of course, but it's better than Sunset Island. Oh, how I miss Brooklyn. The shopping, the food shops, the culture. How I wish I could go back to Brooklyn. Yes, it must be terrible living on a secluded little island. Scooby and Shaggy's mystery-solving tips. Like, the vampire was way scary. I thought he was the one blocking the exit from the cave. Good thing it was just our next suspect. Did you see the suspect eyes on page 28? See if you can answer these questions about her. What is her name? How does she feel about Sunset Island? Why might she like to see the Seaview's business ruined? All right. Fran something. She said Fran something. I hope they don't have a kid and name them Marshall Mello. Can you imagine? This could also be likely that we have a criminal that is family relative. We haven't had one yet, have we? Have we had like a family relative situation? Like, have we had drama? Brooklyn's an overrated, overpriced hipster's paradise. Yeah. I actually can't really speak. I've only driven through, but you know. What is her name? How does she feel about Sunset Island? Why might she like to see? Fran Mallow. Fran Mallow. Okay, suspects 3 is Fran Mallow, aka Chekhov's wife. She hates the island. and may want the inn to close so she can go back to Brooklyn. Because what is talking to your husband, you know? And just being like, hey, I think we should maybe not do this. Instead, she's like, maybe she's like, vampires. This will solve my problem. Sorry if you live in Brooklyn. I'm sure it's nice. A valid place to want to live. It's just not my scene. All right. Do we have any notes before we get... I'm going to take a drink before I keep reading. I feel like I'm losing my voice. If you do live in Brooklyn. I feel like Paul has some personal history with Brooklyn. Like, aside from sports rivalries, it feels like you've been harmed in some way by Brooklyn. Brooklyn owes financial compensation. Welcome to the people just coming in. We are reading Scooby Doo, The Case of the Batty Vampire. I will say, this is a pretty sick glamour shot for the vampire on the front. Sorry, this timed out. Hang on. Here we go. Now I can see the chat in two places. Only 8:40. It feels like it's midnight. It feels like my whole body's just like, sleep. Please sleep. All right. Clue Keeper entry number 5. Miss Mallow waved goodbye and headed back to the sea view. We went back to the mystery machine and got a blanket and our bathing suits. We spent the rest of the afternoon by the ocean. After that, we had wonderful seafood dinner and then returned to the sea view. They're like, yeah, sure, this guy's whole life business and, dream and everything is on the line, but sure, let's just, I mean, they are on vacation. They don't have to do everything for everybody. Why is Freddy so cut? Oh my god. Does chat, are we seeing this? Are we all seeing this together? Freddy's been working out. Good for him. What's that smell? I asked as we stood in Seaview's lobby. A fun question, always to ask. Just don't see the appeal. Anyone who wants to live there, God bless their wallet. Yeah, it is a very expensive place to live. All right, looks like we're gonna get a clue now that we have all the suspects. Scooby dug into the doggy bag Shaggy had brought from the restaurant. He pulled out a long string of garlic bulbs and all tied to one another. Scoob and I went back into the kitchen and told the cook we were staying in the sea view. He took pity on us and gave us these. I thought they had straight up robbed the place for garlic, Shaggy explained. We strung them together with some fishing line we found. And you think garlic is going to keep you safe from the vampire, Vilma asks? Shaggy put on a string around his neck and another around Scooby's. It, couldn't hurt, he said. It's what they do in the vampire movies I've seen. I feel like vampires just started that rumor so that their food would be more seasoned, Fred's been working out his delts and traps. Yup. Yep, he has. From all that trap building, he's so cut. Velma sighed and shook her head as we headed up the stairs. Inside our room, bright moonlight made a line across the floor. Full moon, I noticed as I kicked off my shoes. I opened the door and stepped out onto the porch. My toe hit something hard. Ow! Bending, I picked it up. It was a metal hook attached to some kind of pulley. Look at this, I called to Velma. She came out on the porch and took the hook and pulley from me. Clue time. It probably isn't supernatural. That's kind of sad. I know, Freddy's jacked. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I wonder what they use this for, she said, looking up at the porch roof. I suppose they could hang plants or decorations from it. Wait. To Velma, she came out on the porch. Okay, I thought they had swapped the girls for a second. I was going to be like, I can't with this narration right now, but they're good. They're good. I suppose they could hang plants or decorations from it, I suggested. Maybe, Velma said, still looking at the roof. She yawned and stretched. That ocean air made me tired. I'm going to sleep. We dressed for bed and quickly fell asleep, but later that night, something woke me. Oh, don't talk about sleep in front of me. Oh my goodness. The abs, I know. The abs for days. Every day is arm day, apparently. We dressed for bed and quickly fell asleep, but later that night, something woke me. My eyes widened and I realized what I was looking at. Oh boy. Velma just looks pissed. Like, both of these girls just look angry. They don't look scared. They just look pissed. The vampire was standing. Also, I'd like to point out that going along with the Velma is me theory, I have a nightgown pretty much just like that, and I think I've worn it on this channel. She probably is an orange one, though. It's not orange. The vampire was standing in the open doorway. Velma sat up in bed. She stared into the vampire's eyes. Oh boy. Sorry. You will do as I say, he told her in a heavily accented voice. I didn't pick that up, that it was heavily accented. Come with me. Velma got out of bed. She put on her glasses and moved slowly, as if she was in a trance. Yes, I will follow you, she said in a faraway voice. Velma, no. The vampire went onto the porch. Oh gosh. Velma's being kidnapped by a vampire. Velma's got a date with a vampire. Velma walked straight towards him. Come, he said as he rose and hung there in midair. Velma, I shouted, but she didn't seem to hear me. I jumped out of bed and ran towards her. The doors swung shut in my face. Frantically, I jiggled the handles, but the doors wouldn't open. Velma, wake up, I shouted. Suddenly the doors blew open. I ran out onto the porch, but Velma was gone. A bat flew over the beach. Its wings glistened in the moonlight. Interesting. What's happened to Velma? Has the vampire got her? Before we search for her, let's stop to think about the clue we found. Did you see the flashlight on page 33? Good. Try to answer these questions. Blue's Clues moment. Did you see the flashlight on page 33? Good. How might it have gotten there? What could it have been used for? Which suspects wouldn't have been able to put it there? All right, so I think we can safely rule out the dude who runs Boys Rule, right? Because somebody who, like, lives and or works at the inn would have done it, probably. Sorry, I keep yawning. I can't stop yawning. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. I'd like to think that Scooby would get along with Blue and Magenta. Yes, he would. And usually Daphne is the damsel in distress, but again, the tables turn in this book series. Yeah, justice for Daphne. I'm glad that we appreciate Daphne more these days. Okay, let's flip to the next page for my clue. Clues. Let's just do clues like this. Clue number 1. It was like a wire and hook, right? What if you didn't see it? They're enabling people who don't pay attention. I hate those types of people. sure that these books, they feel like they must have been devised by like parents who just wanted their kids to do like to not struggle with reading comprehension, which actually these books were very helpful for me with like reading comprehension because it really made me pay attention. And as we've established, I struggle with holding attention span. The metal hook attached to some kind of pulley. Yeah. Okay. A hook pulley system. I'm trying not to yawn. Pulley system. Possibly used. I think somebody was using it. Like, do you guys remember that first episode of that first when we covered the Nancy Drew episode of Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys way back when? And there was like also like a bat. Or wait, no, I'm getting two mixed up. Okay, so it was in the Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys one where they meet Dracula. There was the bat on the wire. You read Hook. When you read that they walked on a hook, my first thought was, ouch. Yeah. I don't know what kind of hook it was, but no hook is probably fun to step on. Oof. That's definitely happened, like, at Christmas time when I'm, like, you know, when we're out, like, when we're decorating the tree and, like, you know, you drop, like, the little hooks come out of the ornaments and then they fall on the floor and they're just so painful to step on. I'm getting like empathy pain. Or flashback pain, or both. I don't know. I'm surprised there isn't a Scooby Doo with Tom and Jerry crossover, unless I'm forgetting something. That feels like something that should definitely exist, right? I'm actually surprised too. Someone look that up. Make sure that we're not just forgetting one. Tomorrow they just announced that they're doing that and we're like, we are prophecies. Possibly used to puppet the fake bat. As you do. Most likely put in by someone who lives there. Both girls. Both girls are at the top of the suspect list. That sort of idea actually exists. Wait, it does? Oh, a Flintstones. Oh no, there is a Flintstones and Jetsons crossover. That exists. If we're talking about that. Scooby Doo is a Warner Brothers property, and I believe so is Tom and Jerry, unless I'm wrong. Yogi Bear crossed over with other Hanna-Barbera original. Oh yeah, Hanna-Barbera like to cross over their own stuff a lot. Which was like good cross promotion. Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog would be an epic crossover. It really, really would. It really would. It would be great. But yeah, Paulo, I think I know what you're talking about, because like Scooby-Doo, like when I stream it, it's on HBO Max. I know HBO Max is like burning down to the ground, and they've canceled the new Scoob movie, which pisses me off, but you know. Okay, so checking that in, I'm going to sit here and take a sip of drink and read chat for a second. As my voice is going, and you're right, that we're junior. There is a... Wait. Oh, that's what there... Oh my god, so there is a Scooby-Doo Courage. Okay, I have to cover this. Known as Scooby-Doo... Straight out of nowhere, you can find a way to check that film out. That's so... Just released last year. That's so cool. Ellery dropped in to give D&D update. Yes, we're disappearing. D&D night switched from Monday to Wednesday. I was wondering why we didn't have Ellery. I mean, have fun. But that means that you'll get to be here for the Kingdom Hearts stream, so yay. Also, my druid finally stopped holding back on her distrust of the rogue/cleric who's her ex-bestie. Yay! Character growth! That's so cute. Missed most of the stream. Okay, so anybody want to help me give a rundown to anybody who's just now coming into chat? I'm trying to keep up with everybody. The ornament hooks. The amount of times I accidentally stabbed my hand fingers with them as a child. Oh, that's terrible. The amount of times I've stabbed myself sewing, it's a lot. Okay, so there's this. We're on... The crew is on vacation. On a little... island, apparently off the coast of New England, and there's a vampire, and he's scaring all the guests away out of this adorable little Victorian inn bed and breakfast. And we're trying to figure out who would do something like that. Is it the owner's sister, who's a nature writer and who wants to save the bats? I think that's a pretty valid motive. Not that that gives you the right to be a fake vampire, but you know. Is it her? Is it this guy, which I kind of am doubting right now, but is it this guy who is a manager of a boy band called Boys Rule and wants to shut the place down so that he can get it as a quick and easy spot to film a music video? I mean, I've had to go location scouting. It sucks, but don't shut someplace down for it. Or is it, and I think this would be the most interesting because it would be drama. I guess either way it would be family. If it's either one of the girls, it's family drama. No, I haven't read the script yet. I've been sick and I've been busy. And it's been a weird week. And this is the first time I've streamed in like 5 days. Scooby and Droopy. Oh, Droopy and Garfield. Oh, I can picture it. It would be so cute. It also could potentially be the owner's wife, or so the co-owner, who misses Brooklyn and really wants to go back to Brooklyn, and would want the business to shut down so that they can move. Because what is talking to your husband? Bullshit, apparently. Yeah. Yes, the queen has passed away. She left this morning. I was watching the news. They were broadcasting. She left Buckingham Palace for the last time, and now she's lying in state for a few days, and then she'll be buried. What else happened in the time since I've seen you go? Oh, I know what happened. On a lighter note, on a happier note, since streaming last, I have seen the Disenchanted trailer and the Little Mermaid trailer, and I'm hyped for both of them. Like, super hyped. Well, they've literally... No, it's... Well... Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I know that... No, it's changed to God Save the King now, because they have a king. Because people were singing it. Which is weird. They haven't had a king in 7 years. That's strange. But yes, Disenchanted, Enchanted sequel, I'm so excited for. I'm more excited than ever to do the Enchanted video. And also, oh my god, you guys know how I feel in general about the live action remakes of Disney movies, but I am super excited to see that teaser trailer was so good. It was so shot well. Yeah, New Little Mermaid. She's got a Halle Bailey. That's her name, right? I'm so tired. I feel like I don't even trust myself. But she's got a beautiful voice. I'm so excited. Found a leak of the full audio of Part of Your World. Nice. Yeah, it's live action, which usually I'm not hyped for, but this one looks promising, honestly. This one, she gave her heart and soul to that Part of Your World recording. I'm actually excited. And it's a live action movie, so there's tons of stuff that could potentially disappoint me, I'm sure. I'm sure, you know, Disney really only does stuff for mostly money nowadays, but it does look good. It looks so good. And she looks like she's great. I can send it to you if it's not been taken down yet. Oh well, I would appreciate it. Would be extra for the 2D. Yeah, I've got to cover Peach Dragon for sure. I don't know if I've ever seen Peach Dragon all the way through. There's so many things. Like, it's so weird that I've posted 202 videos and done, like, over 60 streams now. And, like, it's so funny how we barely even scratched this. There's just so many things to make. Like, if you told me that there were over 200 things to make videos about, I wouldn't have believed you, and it's so much more than that. The new Pinocchio. I haven't seen it. I saw, if anybody watches Saber's Park, I saw him talking about how horrible it was. It's really the year of Pinocchio. What am I going to do for the 69th stream? Oh, God, help me. What did I do? What was the 69th video? I can't remember. Weird. I'm actually excited for the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio. That one's probably going to actually be good. I don't know what the purpose of Disney's new Pinocchio is, because it's not even really live action. It's just... Thank you, Noah. It's not even really live action. It's just like this weird... I mean, it is, but it's like... Pinocchio is this weird, like, 3D animated, and I hate it. I hate it so much. But I don't know, maybe. I was watching Dream Sounds tier list. She's tier listing every Disney song ever, and she did a part 1, and it just made me want to cover some, like, old Disney. So maybe one day we'll do, like, the original Pinocchio, too. There's also that one that we saw advertised with, what was it, the Muppet Family Christmas, and I said I would do it. I can't remember what that is. Hybrid, yeah, between two things. Yeah, usually I'm a fan of that stuff, but I don't know. It does. I haven't seen it yet, but the clips that I have seen look a little frightening. But has anybody else seen it? Did anybody else like it? Story still creeps me out. Peach Dragon is good. Watched that a lot as a kid. Yeah, Pinocchio always creeped me out too. Even like the original version. It's just Pinocchio's dark, man. I think we forget that. We're just like, oh, cute little puppet boy. Okay, sorry. I'll get back to the case now. Apologies. Okay, we did this. We answered Daphne's mystery solving tips. Or went through them. Gotta cover the love book. I do. Oh, there's so much I want to cover. I want to start covering So Weird, Erie, Indiana. So many good things. I read the original Pinocchio book, and it is disturbing, very messed up. I haven't read it. I read an excerpt of it back in school, and then, because it was, like, required reading in my textbook, and then, not because I was, like, a super cultured kid, but I also saw, was it John Solo who did, yeah, it was Messed Up Origins of Pinocchio, and I was just like, damn, this gets even darker than I was expecting. Okay. All right, Clue Keeper Entry 6. Fred hurried out onto the porch. Daphne, what's going on? So they have a shared porch. Okay, that makes sense. The vampire took Velma, I told him. Shaggy and Scooby came out still wearing their garlic. Like, where did she go? Shaggy asked. I'm right here, Velma said. We all turned. Velma sat on the floor behind a white chair. She was rubbing her head. I was sleeping when the vampire came into the room. I sat up and he tried to hypnotize me, Velma explained. And he succeeded, I said. No, he didn't, Velma told us. I pretended to be hypnotized to see what would happen. Wow. Velma's a badass. Hey, Milo. Better late than never. I'm glad you're here. A lot of people say they genuinely like the live-action Cinderella, but I just don't get it. I feel like they made her character so bland. Yeah, no, I know. I get why people like that movie. It's the least, like, egregiously... Like, that one and Beauty and the Beast are the least, like, overly bad, but it's just one of those situations with, like, we didn't need a remake, and so you end up messing things up. Like, they tried to make Cinderella cool, and they just made her less autonomous somehow. So Velma pretended to be kidnapped. Can we go back to this for a second? I haven't seen the Rodgers and Hammerstein one, but I really need to. Okay, I'll answer more comments when I get done reading, sorry. Like, Velma, what if he had bitten you? Shaggy cried. He studied her neck. He didn't, did he? No, Velma said. Vampire Velma. Vampire Velma. Maybe I could do Vampire Nancy Drew and Vampire Velma. Yeah, I have a whole video planned on why Cinderella deserves more respect. But anyway, he did try to lift me off the porch, though. He did try to lift me up off the porch, though. But he dropped me. That's when I hit my head. Oh, did you see him turn into a bat and fly away? Fred asked. No, Fred. I thought it might have been a real vampire a second ago anyway. It's fine, Fred. I saw the bat, I said. Marty and Fran Mallow ran onto the porch. Is there a problem? We heard noise, Mr. Mallow asked. Of course there's a problem, Marty, Mrs. Mallow said. There's always some problem around here. When she saw Velma sitting on the floor rubbing her head, Mrs. Mallow dropped her handbag dramatically. Oh, my dear Marty, she's injured. What happened? I'm really... This lady's... I'm suspicious. I'm very suspicious. Mr. Mallow stepped towards Velma. He accidentally knocked over Mrs. Mallow's handbag, sending its contents sprawling across the moonlit porch. Klutz, Mrs. Mallow scolded him. Wow, she's mean. Ooh. I feel bad for Mr. Mallow. He needs to get out of this relationship. She began gathering her things. Makeup, receipts, pens, and other paper. Now I have to organize my purse all over again, she complained, forgetting about Velma. She hurried out of the room. I mean, if we find a clue in her purse, that's going to be pretty easy to figure out who that points to. Mr. Mallow rolled his eyes. Are you all right, Velma? He asked. What happened? I'm afraid you really do have a vampire problem, Velma informed him. Daphne and I just saw him. That's impossible, Mr. Mallow cried. What could be going on here? Shaking his head sadly, he left. Poor guy, I said. Maybe I will wear some garlic after all, Fred said. Fred's like, give me the garlic. Just give me the garlic. Shaggy broke his garlic necklace and gave half to Fred, who tied it on. Homies for life. A yellowed newspaper clipping fluttered across the porch. Fred grabbed it and was about to as it was about to sail off the railing. Wow, look at this. It must have come from Fran Mellow's purse, he said. He read the clipping to us. The amazing Magico and his assistant, Fabulous Francine, wowed audiences at the Palace Theater today with their feats of magic. Magico had audience members clucking like chickens and singing opera with his unbelievable mind control methods. Oh, so it's her. So it's definitely her. It's definitely her, and maybe her husband. No, it wouldn't be, because we're not supposed to suspect the husband unless they're working together. Hey, Miss Firing. Yes, I did the thing. I'm so excited. I did the thing. Just then, we heard lots of shouting in the hall. We ran out to see what was going on. Okay. So it might not be a real vampire, but can we talk about how, like, stereotypical hypnotism is a thing in this universe? Wow, that's a lot. Being a vamp wouldn't work for me. I love garlic too much. I think, here's my headcanon. I think vampires are fine with garlic. I think they started the rumor about garlic because they wanted to make sure that people's blood was, like, seasoned, right? Because then it gets people to, like, it's reverse psychology. You eat a bunch of garlic, and then they're like, heh, and then they drink your blood, and it's garlic blood. My mom thought the new Pinocchio was so cute, and I think it's so wholesome. That's good. I'm glad to know it's good. The Disney princess. Was it Cinderella? Yeah, I have a whole video that I want to do. I'm going to cover all the Cinderella and then the two direct to VHS sequels, because the third one is actually kind of good. It's actually really good. The more I think about it, I actually really, really vibe with that one. But I just really want to talk about Cinderella, because I feel like people try to say that, like, it's a anti-feminist movie, and that's just totally misreading the movie and feminism. Anyway. Head talk for another day. Jungle Book is the best live action. It is! You're right, it is, and I always forget it exists. My high school production of Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella. Aw, that was one of the other. Aw. What a rude thing to be. I'm sure that was fun and you did great, but I'm just picturing one of your teachers being like, and you are the ugly stepsister, and you're like, hurtful. Like the story about Margaret Hamilton being told she was being typecast as the Wicked Witch because she looked perfect for the part, and she was like, huh? Velmpire. I love it. Velmpire. If anybody's good at drawing, somebody draw us some art of Velmpire. Vampire Velma. Even better, Vampire Velma and Vampire Nancy Drew hanging out. Yeah, the Jungle Book live action was good. I like playing the villain. That's cool. I like playing the villain, too. Playing the villain is really cool. Friendship necklace, garlic flavored. Yes. Oh, yeah, what is with the camera? I have no idea. No idea why it looks strange today. Apologies. Is it just... like, it might just be that I need to just, like... No, it's a brand new camera. I'm not 100% sure. There were so many other things to worry about at the beginning of the stream with everything breaking. I didn't even think about it until you said something. I'll look at it later. Apologies. Let me just get through the end of this stream, and then that'll be the next headache. I love that every time Laser and Misfiring see each other in the comments, they're just like, hey, it's so wholesome. I love it. Smart sop. Thank you. Garlic blood. Yeah, like garlic bread, but blood. Garlic blood is a great name for a band. Yeah, it really is. Overhead camera. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm okay. Want you to talk about Tangled. Oh, it's going to happen. Tangled is older than some stuff that I've talked about, so I feel like we can make an exception for Tangled. It's not like a brand new thing. It came out while I was still in high school, right? What year did that come out? It might have come out before I even hit high school. Yeah, that counts. That totally counts. I also want to do a video about Brave because I love Brave, and everybody acts like Brave is this terrible movie, and I think Brave is wonderful. Could be a flare in from the light. The webcam doesn't have a hood. Yeah. It could just be the way that it could just be the way the light is right now. if it's just directly on it. I don't know how to fix. Let me go into my OBS because now I'm curious. Let's see the light. Very small, very, very small space. I think it's this light giving us issues a little, maybe. I'm not sure. Something is definitely off, but I'm not sure what. Oh, and now it's in frame. Sorry, I've ruined the magic now. There we go. Happy Feet. Oh my god, I haven't thought about Happy Feet in forever. Forever and ever. I was obsessed with penguins for a while as a child, so Happy Feet was a big deal. People also like to say Ariel. Wait, I lost it. Hang on. I'm behind on chat. People also like to say Ariel only wanted to leave the sea for a man. I know. I hate when people sing this. Like, when people say this, because she sang the whole song about, like, not fitting in and not wanting to be a mermaid, wanting to be a human. And, like, that's just what she inherently wanted. So, like, she didn't... It's just... Ugh. Ugh. Poor media literacy. Vampire, yes. Who wants to hear my Dracula impression? It's a me, Dracula. Yay, Stream Ghost. Yeah. I wonder if the Stream Ghost has a name. Monster House. Monster House is absolutely happening this Halloween season. I wanted to cover it last Halloween and I ran out of time, but I did get to watch it on Halloween, and that was the first time I'd actually ever seen it. I'm gonna make a YouTube channel only to talk about Tangled, specifically why it's better than Frozen. Please make a YouTube channel. I will be the first subscriber. I would love to see you. I would love to see you talk about Disney movies and musicals and all that stuff. Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge was a favorite. Ants. I've never seen Ants because I'm a Bugs Life chick, but you know, we'll have to cover both. Did that fix it at all? I feel like I made it worse now, but maybe I didn't. I'm mentally taking down all these suggestions. Anastasia has been on the list for a while. Second light, this one. It was this, right? This fixed it? Oh, that's why. Hang on. I think I know what to do. Let me see. Let me pull this up so I can actually look better. It's this. This has this. It's this. I'm trying to figure out how to get it fixed and still not have it in the shot. Ah, I'm going crazy in Filmmaker. Just getting worse. Ah, I see. I see the general. It keeps looking to me like there is like the house light is still on, but it's not. Oh well. Just driving myself insane. I think the flare fits with the spooky stories. Thank you. David! Hey, David! I do have a P.O. box. I finally got it set up. I'm so happy. I've been trying to get one set up forever. Oh, Ariel would love archaeology. Just getting to learn about, like, ancient humans, she would be fascinated. You know how much fun she'd have just, like, finding all the old artifacts? I feel like she'd also... Here, I'm gonna try just turning down, because I think this light is a little too hot. But yeah, she would also... Ariel would also be, I think, like, a great, like, human studies or history teacher. Ooh, that's fixing it a little bit, I think. I think this one was just a little too cold. It was a little too on the cold side, actually. I think that's doing something. These lights always get messed up. I will take it. Oh, if my brother's watching this, he's gonna be so sad. He's so much better at lighting stuff than I am. Has anyone seen all those videos? Yes! Oh my gosh! Yes! All the little black girls smiling and crying and getting emotional because I have cried more than once. It's so cute! It's so cute! I love seeing kids getting to see themselves in media. It's just so wholesome. No, I never thought I'd actually be Avery Techmaster. No, but thank you for the confidence. I remember all the YTV promos for that movie. Oh, yeah, for sure. That sounds so familiar to me. Shark Boy and Lava Girl, yes. You mean the Citizen Kane of our time? Paranorman, yes, my brother loved Paranorman. It's better. It's not perfect, but I'll keep messing with it. Somehow. Now it's just... It needs to be warmer, and this one needs to be cooler. Sorry, guys. You know how I was gonna do that stream where I was like, hey, I'm gonna teach everybody how I edit. Today we're teaching everybody how much I don't know how to light. Now everything is purple. I don't know. I give up. I officially give up. And the light is in frame. Oh well. What were you talking about? Oh, the new area. I never thought I'd be like kind of hyped for a live action Disney remake, but it looks promising. Haley looks so like she did such a great job. It could just be that the lens is smudged, and if that's the case, I can fix it once we get off stream. Every Texas Ranger. Yeah, oh my god. Always been so bad at tech. Be warned, you're getting random art by me. Oh, that would make me so happy. I will put it up in the recording room. Can't wait to send you Dragon Bean. Guys, if anybody follows me on Instagram, you've probably been inundated with pictures of Dragon Bean because I love him. Noah made the most amazing crocheted Dragon Bean. You remember Tale of the Bunny Picnic, where Bean, the little bunny, imagines that he's a big dragon, and he's like that puppet that's like the dragon rabbit hybrid. Oh my god, it's so cute. And Noah crocheted an amazing one. And it's gonna live on, and it's gonna be sent to me, and it's gonna live here forever. I'm so excited. Seeing those kids say... I know. I saw that one this morning. Just so much full of joy. Just melts my heart. It's so sweet, and I'm so happy. I know. I'm so happy. It's so important for kids to know that they can, do anything that they want to do. Like, so cute, Dragon Bean. I'm so excited. Noah did an amazing job. It's fine for now. You can fashion a hood flag later. Yeah. But yes, editing stream will happen. I think the flare goes well with it. Thank you. Who are my favorite Star Wars characters? Ahsoka has always been my favorite. I think she's super underrated. Well, one of my favorites. Trying to think. It's pretty, like, cliche to be like, Princess Leia and Han Solo, I love them, but I do love them. And Yoda's short, so I've always felt a kinship with him. For the longest time, he looked like a snake with a cat head, and I felt I had created the most horrific monster. Even when he was in the snake phase, he was adorable. Let's watch the first episode of She-Hulk. Still haven't seen She-Hulk. Need to get with it on that. Itself and people involved. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, Disney, don't make me potentially very happy. It's like seeing, like, I'm so excited to seeing the Disenchanted trailer made me so happy. And I'm just like, Disney, don't make me happy. We all know that you're a terrible company. I need to watch She-Hulk. I love Milledge Mill. Is that it? Is that how she says her name? From Good Place. I loved her. I'm very excited to see everybody, but especially her. She-Hulk is just dumb fun. Like, people who are mad are saying Stan Lee would be a bald, but obviously don't know he created the hero. Yep. Yes, he did. Stan Lee was just the king of all things weird. And he would love it. Like, he would love that. I think that's when Marvel is best, is when it's not taking itself super seriously, you know? Like, we get a lot of really, like, great stories, but it's also just fun to see Marvel be Marvel. Okay, I don't even think I read the, I didn't even read the clues, because I'm so, like, now biased against the wife. I'm so convinced that she did it. The remakes format okay Disney films from their old library on the book. Ones that have room for improvement versus the ones that really don't. Yeah. Bad Disney. Yeah. Disney is the cognitive dissonance of, like, I love what they make. I hate what they do when they're, you know, behind the scenes. Comics are cheeky AF. The show fits the vibe. Last episode was the best. Yeah. Like, not everything needs to be, like, super serious. And I love that. I still haven't seen Orphan Black. Person Ritter is about to star. Ooh, I did know that. I'm interested. I need to see it. But yeah. Okay. Sorry. I should stop ignoring Fred. Sorry, Fred. Please see what I'm actually supposed to be seeing live. YouTube's like, hey, do you want to see what happened 3 minutes ago on your stream? And I'm like, not really. The flashlight on page 41 means we found another clue. I think it's a pretty important one, too. Answer these questions about the clue. I think it's a fingerprint, thumbprint. I'm just picturing, like, somebody putting their print down there. Does the clue tell you anything about one of the suspects? Yes. Yes, it does. Which of the other suspects might have left it behind? The one who probably left it there. Unless she's being framed, it's definitely her. Does it change the way you think about this case? Sure, because hypnotism is real. They're not even like, because I was like, ooh, how are they going to try to pull off hypnotism? And then Velma was like, oh, he didn't actually hypnotize me. And so I'm like, oh, they're going to give us, like, a logical explanation. And they're like, no, hypnotism's real. When is Marvel finally going to give us Black Cat? I know, right? I love the ending of Spider-Man Homecoming, too. It's so great. Okay. So, clue number 2 is an article proving Mrs. Mallow was the assistant. Like, I'm spelling assistant wrong because it's been a long day. To a magician. So who is the magician, I wonder? Is it the... Am I finally going to be validated in my thought of, like, we shouldn't trust the first person that we meet? Yeah, Marissa Tomei is hilarious. Patrick, did you ever see Parental Guidance? With what, Bette Midler and Billy Crystal and Marissa Tomei? Super cute movie. Filmed here. I always get a crack out of the fact... yeah, I always get kick out of the fact that they ride Marta so much in that movie. This would be a good Felicia Hardy for Andrew Garfield's Peter. Yeah. Black Cat is going to be Tom Holland movies, I think. Anya Taylor-Joy would be perfect. Yeah, that's great, Cat. That'd be great. Love parental guidance. It's cute. I haven't seen it in forever. It's got the little girl that played young Snow on Once Upon a Time. Magician / hypnotist? I need to run this this interpretation of hypnotism by my friend who's a hypnotherapist, because I'm sure she would find this ridiculously stupid. Oh yeah, when she threatens the music. I forgot most of that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, come to think of it. So the clue, oh yeah, the clue probably came out of her purse, or she's being framed. Who would it be if, like, it turns out to be the guy that we're not even told to be, is a suspect, and the whole thing is like, we were trying to tell you not to trust everybody. You lied to us. Sugar is awesome. So Once Upon a Time, Paulo, it's very... I need help describing Once Upon a Time. It's very campy. If you go in just being like I always say, don't get me wrong, I love Once Upon a Time. It's so much fun to watch, but like if you go in expecting like a serious, show with like hard-hitting plot lines, you're going to be disappointed, because it's just, modern day fairy tales and all that stuff. But if you go in kind of being like, this will be just kind of like a goofy, it's fairy tale stories. It's like, yeah. It's like all the fairy tale characters are cursed and they're living in Maine in a small little New England town, and they don't remember who they are. And it's just one of those shows that's just kind of like very like silly and light and just kind of like a fun. I always say if you're expecting like a really well-made like family kids show, I think people are like, wow, this has some really great moments. But then if you're like, people used to pitch it as like the best thing on primetime drama, and it's like, it's not that serious. Don't oversell it and get people hyped for what it's not. Yeah, it's very fun. I want to start talking about individual episodes like I talk about most things. We might even have to do a deep dive into the fandom. So I've been thinking about doing that, like starting I'm planning on doing a video that's in the works, doing videos where we dig into the fandom of something and not just the episodes, while we're like kind of a documentary style going through and like watching all of them. But yeah, the Once Upon a Time fandom is one of my first, like, it's Desperate Housewives, Avery. I mean, magical Desperate Housewives. I mean, I see where you're coming from. I feel like it's... Love Desperate Housewives. I haven't seen that much Desperate Housewives. I don't think it's... Well, I was about to say it's not melodramatic enough to be Desperate Housewives. It's pretty dramatic, but it's just fun. It's just, like, magic and anything's possible, and people usually end up happy at the end. It's not Desperate Housewives. Okay, I was like, Desperate House. I'm like, I guess I could kind of see where that's coming from, but really. Going to bed, guys. Gotta get up at 5:30. Good night. Good night. Oh, yeah, we're running late on this stream. We need to finish this up. I keep getting distracted. Sorry, guys. It's the end of a very long day, and I'm just, like, fried. Good night, Amanda. Thank you for being here. Oh, gosh, Desperate Housewives from the beginning. I probably will eventually. I remember it was, like, a huge thing, but I just never got into it because, like, it was just one of those things where, like, I was a little too young to get into it if, like, my mom wasn't also into it, I think. Story time, me and my dad were watching Fantasia, and it got to the Bald Mountain segment, and once it switched up to the morning chorus, he said something about along the lines of, "This is nice and all, but the demon segment was more interesting," and without skipping a beat, I replied, well, guess that's why people go that side, it's more fun. That is the most, there's a reason that's the part that we all remember. See, I was 9 and I used to watch Bold and the Beautiful with my mom. I'm younger than 9 too, but she was never into Desperate Housewives. Okay, sorry. I'm really gonna finish this book, I swear. I swear to God. And I am 1 chapter behind. I'm like, I already read this. For a second, I was like, I thought we had read mystery solving tips twice, and that would have been not normal. You mad lad. Yeah. I still think it would be fun to do just like soap opera videos, but just like every time we start, the whole gimmick is we just start from some random place in the middle and we have to just be confused and guess what's happening all around it. My dog Peter Barker says hi. Hi, Peter Barker. That's a good name for a dog. Okay. Okay, the shouting came from... Wait. Yeah, there was lots of shouting in the hall. Just then we heard lots of shouting in the hall. We ran out to see what was going on. That was overshadowed by the whole, sorry, Paul. I was like, please, I just want to hear the end of this goddamn Scooby Doo. Or you could have been referring to the soap opera thing, which I'm now, my brain's catching up to the fact that that's what you probably meant, but I kind of pictured you being like, fuck, finish the book. The shouting came from the room's boys rule. Every time I read this fast, it looks like Beyonce to my brain for like 1 split second, and that feels disrespectful to Beyonce. We're using, Derek was out in the hall. There's a vampire in there, he shouted, pointing to his room. We all saw him. Before he could say another thing, a flock of bats flew out of the room. We all ducked, then ran down the stairs. They flew over us like they must be serving mosquito pie, Shaggy commented. I need like a bottom-tiss for Shaggy's bad jokes. See a full episode of Light of Our Love. Ooh. Fan-made episode of Light of Our Love is so tempting to make. Eric, Mason, Jason, and Rick stumbled out of their rooms into the hall. Flew off on a wooden shoe, sorry. Wow, this place is way too creepy for me, Jason said. I want to get out of here right now. There's always one guy in the boy band with a J name. Do you notice that? Ms. Mallow Linney came in front of the porch. Interesting. We don't know. What if her first name is Fran? What if that's a switch up? I'm gonna, because we don't know what her first name is. If you get another dog, it could be Harry Jane. I love it. Ms. Malolini came from the porch wearing a robe over her nightgown. All is well, she said, turning towards my friends and me. I directed the bats out the front door. Dr. Doolittle. What happened? Fred asked Eric. We were sleeping, and suddenly I opened my eyes and saw a vampire standing in the doorway with the moonlight behind him. He started shouting and woke up the other guys. Are they all sharing the same room, all 5 of them? The vampire backed out onto the porch, and that bunch of bats flew in. We went back upstairs as Arnie Rock came down the hall. Get to sleep, guys. We have a busy day tomorrow. So do I, said Ms. Malolini. Good night. The others headed into the rooms, but the gang and I stayed in the hall to talk. Anyone want some garlic? Shaggy offered, tugging at his garlic necklace. No thanks, Fred replied, but let's sleep in the chairs in the lobby tonight, just to be on the safe side. That's gonna be uncomfortable, probably. Good idea, I agreed. That way, if the vampire comes back, we'll all be together. Aw, friendship. We went to our rooms, grabbed blankets and pillows, and went downstairs. There was enough space in the main front lobby for all of us to find a spot. Oh, camp out. It was still dark when something woke me. Velma and Fred were still asleep, but Scooby and Shaggy were gone. The sound seemed to be coming from the kitchen. Ew, gross, I heard Shaggy say. Rach, gross, Scooby said. I followed their voices to the kitchen. That sound in the back of my throat hurt a little bit. Ouch. I followed their voices to the kitchen. They stood there staring into the freezer and disgusted expressions on their faces. We were looking for a little snack and look what we found, Shaggy said. He held out cellophane bags containing frozen insects. Interesting. Very interesting. Fred and Velma came into the kitchen. They studied the bags. I'd say someone was trying to attract bats, Velma said. And I think it's time to set a trap, Fred added. Yes. He looked over to Scooby and Shaggy. We'll need your help. Not again, Shaggy complained. Row-ray, Scooby refused. Every time that he says row-ray, I think he's saying okay, like excitedly, and I remember that he's saying no way. So, you know. Velma left and quickly returned with a box of Scooby snacks. Would you do it for... They need to just stop not asking. They need to stop asking without the Scooby snacks. Sorry, guys. You do it for a Scooby snack, she asked? 2 Scooby snacks? She knows she needs to go up to 2. Scooby nodded excitedly and threw him his snacks. Oh, well, Shaggy said. It beats eating mosquitoes. Good, Fred. Was he also going to have a Scooby snack? Good, Fred said. Now we'll have to get up early tomorrow to set this up. It's the middle of the night, Freddy. Okay, second time. Jeepers! They have Velma saying Jeepers. This is pissing me off an inordinate amount. This has been some vacation. Jeepers, this has been some vacation. The flashlight on page 46 is our final clue. Answer these questions about it if you can. Which of the suspects might have put it there? What might the suspect be using it for? Which suspect could not have put the clue there? Interesting. Ooh. What did he say? What did he say about the wife doing all the cooking? Right? Straight to the point, Belmo. Don't ask Scooby if he'll do it for food. Shove the box in his face and tell him, Scooby, you're being bait. Deal with it, yeah? Why don't Scooby and Shaggy ever just buy their own box of Scooby snacks? I know, right? Liberate them. We got the 3 clues, so can we set up... Yes, I was just thinking that. Rat rage. That's funny. Oh my gosh. We found these bags of frozen insects. I mean, we still ate them, but it was weird. Yeah, right? I'll set up the... Let's see. So we definitely think this is costume. I mean, I guess it could still... I guess, what do we consider tech? Because somebody's definitely stringing up a bunch of fake bats. Let's start another poll. Who's the baddie? Who's the baddie? Is it Mallow Linny? Is it, what's the guy's name? Arnie Rock? Sorry, I keep forgetting your cool name, Mr. Arnie Rock. I know you don't exist, but I'm still sorry. Or is it Mrs. Fran? I wanted to write Drescher. I won't disrespect Fran Drescher like that. Mallow. Let's see. Batty. The suspense is driving me batty. I love it. Fake bait to go along with the real ones? The Foods from my childhood I've most wanted to try are Krabby Patties and Scooby Snacks, right? What about the, does anybody remember Aristocats, where they're like, it's creme de la creme a la Edgar, and like, sure, it was probably just watered down milk with some salt in it, but it looked like the greatest shit in the world. I used to love that movie. I missed a bunch of chat. Let me go back. Random soap episodes and game show stream. Yes, we still need to do game show stream. I need to just do that soon and just start that. I need to see full episodes of Light of Our Love. I'm so tempted. There's also that other show that we hear about a little bit less than Light of Our Love, but Detective Beach is mentioned in a bunch of them, and I'm like, ooh, to make some, you know, fan-made stuff to visualize this would be so much fun. And Max and John. Netflix Australia has some stuff only there, and Netflix anywhere. Yeah, that's the way Netflix is. It's another good use for a VPN. It's something that they outright advertise. They're like, you can use our VPN to watch any Netflix from anywhere. They don't have to do anything for anyone. They'll have their own. They'll be strong, independent boys. They don't need Velma's Scooby Snacks. And versus B. I feel like you'll get a lot of crabs and Krabby Patties. Yeah. I mean, I'm not, like, adverse. I don't mind crabs. It's the thing when it comes to seafood that I really, really don't like is, like, I have a weird thing with fish, mostly just because mentally it just freaks me out, but somehow I'm fine with crabs. It doesn't make any sense. Mechanical bats before it could really be considered tech. Fair. That's a fair, judgment call from Boots the Cat. Milk with a sleeping potion. Yeah, that time that it was just milk with a lot of Benadryl in it, apparently. Poor cats. We're not going to talk about that? That guy was, like, one of the coldest Disney villains ever. He drugged a mama cat and a bunch of kittens and, like, tried to leave them outside to die? That's harsh. I also want to do a side series that's a cooking series where we try to recreate foods from nostalgic media. So we can make our own Krabby Patties and Scooby Snacks. Pizza from a Goofy movie. Yeah. The cheese looks so gooey. Where was the father? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, Duchess is a tragic widow cat. Okay, so the majority of people are thinking Ms. Malalini, and here's the thing. It's right in front. If it's Fran, that's very obvious. So I think we don't know what Ms. Malalini's first name is. It could also be Fran. This could be a situation where his sister and his wife have the same first name. Krabby Patty gummies. Closest you get to trying it. Yeah, I remember the Krabby Patty gummies. We do get a really entertaining chase scene, yeah. Goofy movie also needs to be made. I love a video needs to be made about it. I cannot talk. I need to finish this book and go to bed, apparently. But yes, Goofy movie is so good. And even though everybody remembers it so nostalgically, I still feel like it's underrated somehow. I want to see more merch representation for that movie. Okay. Which of the suspects... So let me look back at this for a second. Who couldn't have left the clue? So, what did he say about not using the kitchen? Because he's not a suspect, Mr. What's his name? I just want to know. Curtains... Ridiculous. This part, the bat. Where is it? And there was like a giant bat. Where did they say? I want to hear what he said about the kitchen. A Goofy movie tanked the box office, but has gained a cult following. It's so cute. I love it so much. Eye to Eye. I don't remember who it was, but someone sang Eye to Eye for Disney Night on American Idol. And none of the judges recognize the song. That's a very, like, distantly foggy memory in my brain. I now need to look it up. Oh, yeah. The whole Goofy movie soundtrack are just so great. Roxanne and Max are cute together. Like, it's just great. Oh yeah, the thin Oreos. I didn't like them because it wasn't enough. Like, I like double stuff as it is. Yes, Goof Troop also needs to be a thing. We haven't ever talked about Goof Troop, have we? Talk about the kitchen. I need to know. Here we go. Normally, I'd offer to serve you some lunch in the dining room, but my wife is off the island right now, as I mentioned. But she wasn't. Interesting. She does the cooking. I never even step into the kitchen. That's important. Maybe it was the wife. Maybe it's just really obviously the wife. Right? But also, the bugs itself kind of proves that she would know something about bats, which is what the... Do you think his wife and his sister are working together? That would be cold. That poor guy. I'm too tired to read that whole sentence, Cameron, but yes, I bet Scooby does say that at some point. Good for him. Max brings home a girl for Goofy to meet, and it wasn't Roxanne. My heart was broken. Yes! Yes, due to love not existing. Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember that. I remember being so sad. I'm like, what do you mean? You mean they're not going to stay together? Gotta finish this and rest. Leave the editing. Oh, the editing's going to be for tomorrow. Yeah, I've already come to that decision. We've only got like one more chapter and then the reveal left. Answer these questions about it if you can. I haven't answered, so it's like we've got bugs. We've got clue number 3 is frozen bugs. Off the island, right? Was she just coming back? She was just coming back. Okay, I'm so confused. This is a children's book. Frozen bugs in the fridge. That the wife uses only. Men can't cook, right? Roxanne was so cute, yeah. I know, they were in middle or high school. I get it, but damn. Loved Roxanne. My first cartoon crushes. Roxanne was pretty fly. there's really no getting around that. What do you guys think? Do you think that clue is more tilting towards the sister or the wife? It could go one of both ways. I don't think that's embarrassing. There's you know how many people have a crush on that fish? The sexy fish from Finding Nemo? And do you know how many people of us, when we hear somebody say the sexy fish from Finding Nemo, know which fish they're talking about, which is the scary part? Jessica Rabbit. I feel like Jessica Rabbit. I feel like that's one that a lot of people had. Yes, Gil. Gil, the black and white, the one that's voiced by Willem Dafoe, is the one that everybody means when they say the sexy fish, and it makes me laugh every single time. I'm a lesbian, so he didn't work on me. Fair. Even though gay, Raven was a huge crush of mine from Teen Titans. Ooh. I think we all had at least one. I'm trying to think of. I definitely probably had a cartoon crush on Aladdin when I was little. Probably, yeah, definitely. I will look that up, Patrick. Okay. Okay. I'm staying on track. I'm gonna do it. Thelma's hair looks different there. I don't know why, but that's not important. Is this the right page? I think so. At least Jessica is a human woman. It's funny. It's true because in my brain, because her last name is Rabbit, I always forget that she's a human woman because her last name is actually, she married Roger Rabbit. And by the way, what a great subversion of the femme fatale character. I've always loved Jessica Rabbit. Clue Keeper entry 8. So, you know, it's interesting. They all keep the Clue Keeper separately, but they all have the exact same handwriting. It would be nice if, like, they gave it slightly different fonts every time somebody different had it. We got to the old lighthouse at dawn and went down the kitchen stairs into the cave below. It was dark and cool. Occasionally, a bat flew over our heads, returning home from the nighttime flight. This time, we brought along flashlights to guide us. We walked along the underground river until we came to the place where we'd seen the vampire last time. Like, how do we know he'll come back? Shaggy asked. We don't, Velma answered, but I have a hunch that this is his home base. I think what gave it away? All of the bats everywhere, Velma? I think he must return here each morning to plan what he will do next. We heard a noise, turned off our lights, and ducked down. We stayed very still and waited and waited. That was the end of the sentence. A figure stood on a raft, floating up in clearly the shadow... Wait. Floating up in the river towards us. At first, I couldn't see it clearly in the shadowy darkness. As it came closer, though, we were able to see it better. It was the vampire. Okay, guys, you're on, Velma whispered to Shaggy. Okay, guys, you're on. She whispered it. She didn't yell it at them. Whispered to Shaggy and Scooby. Shaggy and Scooby jumped up and switched on their lights. The vampire cowered back as though the light hurt his eyes. He tried to cover them with his claw-like hands. Hey, vampire, Shaggy shouted. We brought some treats for you and your pals. I don't know if a vampire would respond to, hey, vampire, but I don't know. Scooby and Shaggy held up platters filled with frozen bugs we found in the Sea View's fridge. Come and get it, they called. Immediately, we heard the sound. We heard the sound of squealing bats. They raced down the tunnel toward us. Shaggy and Scooby tossed the platters of bugs at the vampire. The bats flew around him, eager to pick the bugs off the vampire. Get away from me, the vampire shouted. Wait, we're not doing the corny accent anymore? Get away from me. Guess they dropped it when they're surrounded by bugs. Swinging his arms to ward off the bats, he swung wildly at them. Poor bats, but they kept flying around his head and shoulders. I'm getting Ransom of the Seven Ships flashbacks because of the Bat Caves. I don't like that. That's when Fred, Velma, and I ran out and upended the raft. With a shout, the vampire fell backwards and splashed into the water. Fred grabbed the vampire by the hair. Oof. Now, let's see who's underneath that vampire mask, he said. Classic. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna catch up with Jack. Money to the list, too. Yeah. Gene Fitzherbert. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The cartoon man can get it. Honestly, that's another one of those movies where like every character is gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like even Mother Gothel, like all of them are just like supermodel characters in that movie. I don't know. Oh, I've already talked about potentially reading My Immortal, the Harry Potter fanfic on stream. I'm just not sure if people will hate me and revolt, but I'm very tempted to do it because it's a different kind of nostalgia, you know? And I've never actually read it all the way through, so that would be fun. Mother Gothel may be awful, but she's gorgeous, yes. I, for one, would love it. I'll put it on the list. We'll have to do it. I can't even imagine. Like maybe as we read through it, we'll try to like get some more and more backstory because the story about the whole like saga of people trying to figure out who wrote My Immortal is like the best part about My Immortal, and I love it. Okay, wait, I gotta look back at something else. Magico and his assistant, Fabulous Francine. Walking like chicken, singing opera, unbelievable mind control methods. Interesting. So who do we think? I'm torn, because I could see this going one of two ways. I tried listening to someone do a dramatic animated reading of My Immortal, and I legit felt like my brain was melting, and it gave me a headache. Yeah, looking at My Immortal anywhere, any part of My Immortal gives off that vibe. I feel like I'd have to, like, almost, like, pre-read just to, like, get in the right headspace, because it's like, if this is throwing me off with the typos and stuff, you just got nothing on My Immortal. Wow, you say as you close the Clue Keeper. That was some mystery. I said that like Nancy Drew. Didn't mean to. Have you guessed who the vampire really was, Fred asks. You're not exactly sure. I need to think about it, you admit. Go over the clues you found, Velma suggests. Which of the suspects might have left them? Can you eliminate any of them? Another crab. Shaggy crashes his mallet down on you. On yet another crab. Not on you. That would be violent. Yum, he says, as he pops more crab meat into his mouth. In his mouth. Why don't you take a lunch break before trying to solve this one, he says. You shake your head. You can't possibly think about eating until you figure out who the vampire really was. When you think you've solved the case of the Batty vampire, turn the page and see if you were right. Oh, is this going to break my streak? I'm going to be so sad. My Immortal is like on the level of a Trekkie's Tale in terms of like the influence on fandom culture. Yes. Yes, it really truly was. Obscure animated movie called Santa vs. Claus. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. That sounds vaguely familiar. I don't think I've ever seen it though. I think I've just heard people talking about it. All right, let's see. I need to look back at something. So when did the wife get back? I mean, she could have put the bugs in at any time, but if she wasn't in town for this, right? Like that's gonna be the twist, right? Because it's such a red herring to say that it's the wife. Like they just really went all in on that. You can do this, Avery. Focus on what you've got, even if you've got the some of us in chat members will. True. So's not in the know. A Chucky's tale is the origin of the term Mary Sue to mean a character who is, absurdly competent, beloved, and flawless with no substance of a personality. To back it up, it's a really interesting. Does anybody watch Izzy? I don't know how she says her channel name. Izzy with the triple Z. She just recently did a great video on the history of the Mary Sue, and it's great. Thank you, that word, Junior. I'm trying to figure this out. I know this is a children's book, but I'm really trying. Nice or not? Just got back from civilization on the mainland. It's not Brooklyn, of course, but it's better than Sunset. I think, yeah, I think bugs have to do. The bugs only would rule out the fact that the husband doesn't go in there. I'm so confused. I'm just suspicious of the fact that we don't know this lady's name, the sister, and I feel like that's gonna be the toss up. Is like her name is also gonna be Fran. Oh no, her name is Elsa. Wait, no, her name is Elsa. I'm stupid. I forgot. We had the whole "Do you want to build a snowman" moment thing. Right, so she was just she had to just be lying about coming back from the mainland, right? It's either like the sister and it's a huge red herring, or it's just very easy to solve, and I don't know which one they would go for, honestly. What are your guys' guesses? Do you want to give your guess? Got your first package all addressed. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are all so sweet. I appreciate all of you. I'm saying the wife. When a children's book trips you up. Yeah, after a long day, after as fried as I am for the past few days, I'm just like, wait, though. Also the wife. Yeah, it's probably the wife. It's too obvious to not guess the wife. Because, I mean, I guess the bugs are supposed to make me think the nature... I almost said naturist. That's not... Which he's a nature writer. Which suspect could not have put it there? Look back at it. Acid expressions. Cellophane bags containing frozen insects. Halloween yet? Why are you already wearing your witch costume from that Full House book? Yes. That's gonna be a fun stream. We'll say wife because that seems the majority. Yeah, I feel like the crowd, it would be very against the grain to say, but like, is that what they want you to think? You know, I'm trying to get into the head of this writer. I went for Elsa Mello because what the heck. Earlier, still not giving any spoilers to Music of the Vampires. No. The playlist tell LOL. Oof. It's the first Full House Club Stephanie book. Nice. I appreciate you sending those to me. I promise I will do some reading streams because I think that'll be very fun. Maybe we could do a Full House video to go with it. Get all the... anybody who's not yet come and hung out with us on stream. Get on with it. All right, all right. I'll say wife. This is so... I'm way too invested in this. Everybody's just like, Jesus, I just want to know. Yep, it was Fran Mello! Yay! We were right! Streak continues. Oh my god, we've got a lot going on here. I want to hear this story. Look at these illustrations. You guys see this? It was Fran Mello, Daphne said. She wanted to get back to city life. She was bored to death on Sunset Island, where Ms. Mallow Linney came to the island to research the bats. Wait, when Ms. Mallow Linney came to the island to research bats, it gave Fran an idea of posing as a vampire to ruin the Seaviews business. She followed Ms. Mallow Linney to the cave one day and then read her books to learn about bats. Okay. The old lighthouse was her headquarters. She'd stay there when she claimed to be off the island shopping. At night, she'd appear as the vampire. She knew about costumes from the days when she and Mr. Mallow had the costume shop. That's right, they said they had a costume shop. I forgot about that. I need to be taking better notes. The clues all pointed to her, Fred said. They really did. It was so obvious that I thought everybody was trying to pull a fast one. The pulley and hook we found told us that someone was being raised and lowered from the roof. She pulled herself up and down using the pulley and hook attached to a harness, like Mother Gothel. In the darkness, the heavy nylon cord she used didn't show. Okay. Found itch logic. Then there was the news clipping, Daphne reminds you. It told us that Fran, otherwise known as Fabulous Francine, had worked with a magician who used mind control. Yeah, it was so obvious that I didn't trust you. That meant Fran was familiar with hypnosis. She even thought she'd learned how to do it. She tried to hypnotize Velma, although she was unable to really do it. And finally, the frozen bugs revealed that someone was intentionally trying to lure the bats to the inn. Velma says, Ms. Mallow Linney would have no reason to do that. She could find all the bats she wanted in the cave. I mean, if she was the bad guy, she would have a reason. I don't think that's fair. Arnie Rock wouldn't have had access to the kitchen. Fran knew her husband never went in there. She was the only one who used that kitchen. What happened to her, you ask? Mr. and Mrs. Mallow resolved their problem. They'll spend the winter... Wait, they stayed together? Bro! Mr. Mallow needs to get out of this relationship. I'm worried for Mr. Mallow. They'll spend the winter in Brooklyn and they'll open the inn during the spring and summer months, Fred replies. They even agreed to let Boys Rule film their music video at the inn. We didn't get to see nearly enough of Boys Rule. I'm a little bit disappointed. Arnie and the group promised that their staff would be respectful of the place. That was the end of the sentence. There was even good news for Ms. Mallow Linney, Velma says. The section of the beach by the Batcave has been designated as a nature preserve. That's great, you say. Now I'm ready for those crabs. I might even be able to face a little garlic butter, Shaggy says. He looks at Scooby Doo. How about you, pal? Scooby grins and cracks a crab. Ruby, Ruby, Roo! He cheers. There ends the case. I have questions. Wait, I've missed a lot of. Never have I stayed up this late in the live stream. Oh boy. It was Fran. It was Agatha all along. Hope you don't mind, the Full House books are from the 90s. They were already well read when I got them. Oh, I don't mind. No, I don't mind at all. One of my favorite things is, let's just say, rescuing old books from either eBay or Goodwill. 3 hours, a lot shorter than the 8 hours stuck. Yeah, that word junior. Oh boy, did we have some. The next time we do the next time we do a Nancy Drew playthrough, you don't know long streams until you've seen a Nancy Drew playthrough. At least the later ones. The first few are about this long as a stream. You think this is late? Ha 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 ha! You sweet summer child. How late were we up that one time? Was it like 2 in the morning? Because I was like, I gotta solve this puzzle. I don't mind. I really don't. I almost forgot about the sewer stream. We've all forgotten it. I haven't. Like the kid's book with the rant. Yes, I remember that. Aunt Bully. I read the book. I was just trying. Wait. I'm trying to sound more intellectual. Chat. Chat 5, book 0. We've slashed this book mighty well like a steak. Not literal, though. Nice. I never saw Aunt Bully. Weird specific phobia. Shrunken people. So Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is not your favorite movie, is what you're saying. Okay. Till we meet again for round 6. Bye. Good night. I'm gonna get off in a second, too, because I feel like I'm gonna pass out. It was 3 a.m. It was 3 a.m., you're right. Oh, God. Yep. Not counting the 12-hour charity stream, because that's literally the longest you can stream without starting a second VOD. Our record was 12 hours. I think the next time we do a charity stream, I think we should do a stream, but I should populate 2 streams, so at the 12-hour mark, we can switch over and still be able to keep that VOD going and still be able to, like, see how long we can stream for. Yeah, Shrunk the Kids is a horror movie. It really is. It's a horror movie for sure. All right, so we were all correct, I think. There is a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids TV series. I haven't seen so much of it, but I'm saving all of these notes. I threw out a good amount of the Nancy Drew notes, which I probably should have kept, but I didn't know what to do with them. Maybe I'll do something with these. I don't know. Yeah, there's so many things I need to cover. I don't think anybody would buy them. Nobody appreciates my art. Right as always and spot on with the Dracula impression. Oh, thank you. Do you plan to do more videos on Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys? Yes, I've been thinking about it, actually. It's been a while. It's been way too long since we talked about that show. I think they have a Christmas episode that might be fun for the holidays. I haven't watched it in a while. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, I still have to do the Nancy Drew DS games. We're getting there. Other things came up, but we will get there. No, we didn't start Kingdom Hearts this week because Maddie is not available to stream next week, and we didn't want to start something like Kingdom Hearts and only stream once and then have a 2-week hiatus. So we just decided to take a 2-week hiatus from last Monday and this Monday, and the next Monday we're going to start Kingdom Hearts. Sleepo, thank you for the video. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. You must avenge me. Yeah, I will, I promise. Dracula really thought it would be a good idea to pretend to be a real vampire when he literally is. Real, right? Yes. Yeah. Dracula was pretending to be a Dracula because he was a Dracula. That was a thing. That was a thing that happened. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I got my neck to pop. I will let you guys go. Let me end this poll for what it's worth. Oily Monster has deep. Ooh, that's terrifying. Gotta head off. Yeah, I'm getting off too. Good night, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you next time. I'm not sure when I'm gonna stream next, but hopefully I'll get a new video out tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Good night. Good night, everybody. Let me go on full screen. Say good night. Full cam. Good night. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Something is very messed up with the lights in here, but oh well. Pleasant dreams to everybody. Good night. Bye.